Hey, this is Big Papa Pump Scott Steyer, and you're watching WTF Podcast, hosted by Devon and his other co-host, Austin, who are self-admittedly a couple of fat asses. And everybody knows I hate fat asses, so put the Twinkies down, stop eating the potato chips, stop putting extra mayonnaise and mustard on your Whopper, and stop being a couple of fat asses. Also, Devon says Austin is an AEW mark. But it doesn't matter because you guys are still fat neckbeard asses. Fat asses. And everybody knows I hate fat asses.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the What the Fuck podcast. This is episode number 33, and we have a very stacked podcast for you today because not only do we have one guest, not only do we have two guests, but ladies and gentlemen, we have four guests here today. So, firstly, making his return to the podcast, we have the homie Rob Coronation. Oh my god. And also making his return to the podcast, we have the homie Brandon Champion.
Bing bong.
And also making his return to the podcast, we have the homie Sonny J.
I like feet.
Oh my fucking
Fuck, dude. Some medieval fucking 1768 shit, dude. What is up with you and feet? Better get some toe fungus.
And finally, making his first podcast appearance, we got the homie Ryan.
Hey yo, what up, bruh? Ariana Grande. Love you.
And today the big this is probably going to be most of the podcast. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. We're going to have a big discussion. And Brandon, you want to let them know about the spoiler warning?
Alright, guys, so if you don't want to know about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield being in the movie, right now it's your warning right now. Please don't watch after this. Thank you.
Well, there's your spoiler alert. So
Go to a fucking theater.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Alright, well, this will be a spoiler review. We're going to be getting into the details of everything and anything about the movie. All six of us have seen this movie. Austin actually saw this movie like 20 minutes ago, so...
Yeah, just got home.
Yeah, that's why we're late.
Fresh in his mind.
Okay. I got tickets in months in advance, okay?
Damn.
Damn.
I have tickets in months in advance.
What are you?
I'm playing, I'm sorry.
Go chill.
How are you just now seeing it?
Oh my fucking god.
Come on, bruh. Come on, Austin. You just send yourself up. You send yourself up.
To see it late.
Man was so excited about the movie. End credits. He was low-key wanking, bro. He had to take extra time.
Not fuck you. Fuck you.
If you bought your tickets early, I'm so confused. Why did you buy your tickets for a time
my
that's
God.
like
Because it was getting full. That's the only day I had off for one.
early?
I believe that.
Yeah, I got the tickets early. But I got them online.
How early did you get these tickets?
Gee golly.
It's just
November
good connections,
29th.
man.
November 29th. So since November 29th in Missouri.
In Missouri, why does that matter?
I'm asking a serious question here.
What was the question?
In Missouri and on November, you're saying that like all the theaters were backed up that far behind?
Yes.
Master interrogator right here.
Yes.
Hey, bro, Austin's getting a dick.
I'm not trying to make an interrogation. That's actually like, in terms of I think like in a serious conversation that kind of shows like how powerful this movie was. Because if you saying
Oh Jesus
like
Christ.
if you saying like in November, I don't know what it
just talking about.
This is already making a good podcast clip, so you know
I
what?
don't
Keep
know what
going.
you're laughing about. I'm just saying, if you're saying that the theater for backed up since November, and you
Keep saying November.
This was a
Wait,
fucking
hold up. What's so funny now, bro? I
I
was
don't
laughing
know.
at
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Oh my god. Alright.
That's actually.
Oh, fuck.
Well, yeah, but I see what Tony's saying, though, man. This shit.
I didn't get to say it. I'm mad.
Oh my god. Alright. Oh, fuck.
This.
Alright, well, let's let Tony say it, I guess. You know?
You heard?
Start this move on. Next topic. No, I don't care. I don't care no more.
Next.
Well, after that discussion, I guess we can talk about Spider-Man now.
I want to talk about Spider-Man, but
Tony, you should just say what you got to say, man. Get it off your chest.
move on.
Tony, we waiting on you, bro. We waiting on you.
We're waiting on you to tell us what
bro,
you're going to say.
man, it brings
We
us
Tell us
for real
what you're
don't,
going to say.
bro.
This
Bro,
movie,
we
man.
for real don't know why everybody else is laughing. We don't, bro. Like, we don't know why whoever was laughing.
Well, I'm sipping now. So.
What a mood kill. All right, let's go. Yeah, let's talk about something. Well, we're talking about Spider-Man, and he's shutting it down. He's like, "Oh, fuck Spider-Man, fuck you." Like,
I say something about the next part of the movie. I'm not gonna say about party, bro. Good, start the movie. Whatever.
okay, that's what we trying to do.
Alright,
We're trying to
so
give you a chance too. So let's just go. If you want to be like that, you can be like that. Let's go. Move on.
this so I'm sure we all have the same agreement that this was a really good movie. We all enjoyed
Oh, yeah.
watching it.
I'm actually going to say I don't even want to watch another movie from this year because I want to get in on a good note. So,
Yeah, true facts.
Oh man, I really enjoyed. I mean, pretty much everything. I thought this was definitely, at least in my opinion, I thought it was the best Tom Holland one.
For sure.
I've seen Homecoming and Far From Home. I thought they were all right, but this one felt like really well done.
Yeah,
so-
dude, he did a fantastic job
I think
in this
it was-
movie.
it was really good.
Like, dude, freaking, like, you could just tell, like, that he's.
Alright.
What? No?
You said Far From Home was all right.
Well,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
Far From Home was definitely.
Well, they're
just
all
alright.
great.
Wait,
But-
hold on. You said it was just all right.
Me, I'll put. I'm one of the very few. I feel like I'm in the minority on that movie. I feel like, but I don't think Far From Home is a great Spider-Man movie. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a good Marvel movie. I think it's a good Disney movie. I don't think it's a great representation of what Spider-Man is, though. When I think of Spider-Man, I don't think Far From Home is a great representation of the Spider-Man that I enjoy.
I don't know. I'm confused. Shit.
For me, I didn't like
Me, I thought
Homecoming that
movie was
much.
Fantastic, bro. I thought Homecoming was like really good. I thought Far From Home was fantastic.
I mean, we all have
And I thought this
different
movie was
opinions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I thought this movie was like the best one, top and all.
This one was awesome.
Yeah, this movie was like. I mean, a lot of people are saying it's like the best Spider-Man movie, which I can see it. I'm not sure if I feel that yet, but I could definitely see. Maybe if I watch it again, maybe I'll feel that. But I do think this was really good.
No, yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's like the best movie I've seen.
Like this movie had like everything you could want in a Spider-Man movie. This movie had it. Like it had. You good?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just making sure you're alright, man.
Don't let somebody dying on the podcast.
But so like I said, this movie had everything you could want in a Spider-Man movie. It had the story, it had the emotion, it had the acting, it had the nostalgia, it had the characters. Everything was great. Everybody played their roles extremely well. It was nice to see so many older characters back again reprising their roles. All three Spider-Men were great. Like the craziest thing for me when I was watching this was, I mean, not only the fact that Toby and Andrew were in it, like that was crazy enough in itself, but like seeing all three of them together interacting, like it felt
Dude,
like
I wanted to cry.
Yeah, like it felt like when I was watching, I was like, what I'm watching in front of me, I'm like, dude, this isn't real right now. Like I can't believe what is in front of me is actually happening right now.
Yeah, it was real. And
It was.
it was in front of your eyes happening.
So
No, though, dude, I can see what you're saying with that. It was so crazy just seeing all three of them just like hug. You know what I'm saying?
It was a
Like,
good
that
feel
shit was-
moment.
That shit was
Yeah.
crazy, bro. Like just. Cause I bet,
Definitely
like,
a good feel
as
moment for
kids,
Spider-Man
'cause, like,
fans.
Cause like as
Yeah.
kids, we were always like, I mean, I feel like that was always like a thing with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. We would always be like, oh, what if they like met up? And then when Tom Holland came around, that was like the talk. It was like, what if they all fucking meet up and fucking boom, it fucking
Right.
happened.
yeah.
Fucking crazy, dude. All the freaking villains and shit, dude.
Yeah, man. It's weird seeing all of them, cause especially Toby, cause like I don't know about y'all, but I was in the theater for Spider-Man 2.
Yes, I was too.
Like I remember the
I
Burger
wasn't.
King Spider-Man 2 toys.
Mhm.
Oh, I remember
Mhm.
those too, bro. I remember those.
Mhm.
I remember the Burger King Spider-Man 3 toys. Dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
I was in the drive-in for Spider-Man 3 when it came out, dude. I remember
Yeah.
getting surprised going to watch that, dude.
Yeah.
I was, man.
we were kids, and to kind of like grow up, and then with Andrew, of course, too. But
Yeah, like Toby was there when I was like a kid.
Mhm.
Andrew was there when I was a teenager. And
right.
Tom's the adult, bro. Literally every era bro, was together.
It's really wild. Not a lot of movies can kind of have that magic. I was sitting there trying to think of movies that can kind of do that kind of thing, and the only other thing I can kind of think of was probably Star Wars when they brought Luke Skywalker back.
Mhm.
I didn't grow up with Star Wars, but I can see for people who grew up with Star Wars and then got to see Luke again was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of like many franchises that can do that kind of thing.
Rick and Morty,
Facts, bro.
but that they don't kind of. I don't think they
Rick
count.
and Morty. I mean, you're not wrong.
My man, one day,
We're gonna see Rick and Morty in Marvel Unit MCU, bro.
I'm pretty sure in like 20 years or 10 years, sure, yeah.
Bro, freaking Howard the Duck was in like the end credits for Guardians of the Galaxy, bro. So if Howard the Duck can be in, you know, a Marvel movie, so can Rick and Morty.
Howard the Duck was in What If.
Howard the Duck was in What If?
Yeah, Howard the Duck was in What
Why?
If like twice.
Why is he a part of the MCU, dude?
Because I don't know.
I mean, you
guess
guys have watched the What Ifs to find out.
Stan Lee Fox with them, bro.
Right.
What Once you go duck, you can't. What is this thing?
Once you go duck, you can never go buck, bitch.
Yeah,
You
something
know?
like that. That's a slogan.
Once you go duck, you'll never. I can't.
It's like something you mess with the quack, you'll never get back. I don't know, something stupid.
Hey, so let's talk about potential future movies of Spider-Man. We might see Flash Thompson
Well,
as Venom.
we gotta break down the movie first.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You're getting ahead of yourself, man.
Yeah, we skipping this from
Demo, take this away, man. What are we about to talk
All
about?
right, so this movie continues, continues the story from Far From Home, where at the end of Far From Home, Mysterio revealed Spider-Man's identity to be Peter Parker. So this movie starts off with everybody all over the world knows that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and pretty much his life becomes pretty much hell. Because everybody knows who he is, everybody knows where he lives, people won't leave him alone, and also, when Mysterio revealed his identity, he also, like, edited the footage to make it look like Spider-Man killed him, and that Spider-Man caused everything that happened in Far From Home. So, not only does everybody know that he's Spider-Man, that he's Peter Parker, now everybody also thinks that he's a murderer, and that he did all this bad stuff, when in reality it was Mysterio that did it. So, and it doesn't only affect Peter Parker, it affects everybody around him, it affects his girlfriend, his best friend, his aunt, like everybody in his life, it starts affecting.
They didn't get, they ain't getting to that college, bro.
Devin's journalist.
Yeah, like, it got to a point where, like, people were harassing Peter so much that they couldn't even, like, live in their apartment anymore. They had to go to a whole different spot. Peter, Ned, and MJ all got declined from going to college. I forget what the college was, but
MIT.
MIT.
Yeah, so
No sleep till
I saw the movie twice.
Boston.
I don't like Flash.
Bro, fuck that bitch. Fuck Flash, dude.
Yeah, bro, that's not even accurate Flash.
So
that's the worst live action Flash, but
fuck the actor that plays him too.
Mhm.
I don't know his name.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I was just fucking around.
So, excuse me. So, basically, everybody knowing that he's Spider-Man, it affects, like I said, it affects everybody around him. So, basically, his friends can't get into college just because they are friends with Peter Parker, and that's like the whole reason why they don't get accepted. And like, so it's really like fucking with Peter really bad. Like, he feels like everything is his fault. He doesn't know what to do. He's trying to think of how to fix everything, and so he decides to go to.
We're skipping a very, very important detail. Before he does that, he tries to go to get some help from a little special somebody. We are introduced to a very special guest in this movie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're introduced to Matt Murdock, the fucking Daredevil.
Dude, I got fucking hyped for that shit, dude. I was so fucking hyped for that shit. Did y'all watch that show? Did y'all watch Daredevil?
I loved that show.
Yeah, I love Daredevil, and it's so awesome that Hawkeye, the last episode is.
Don't say anything to.
I'm not watching it, but Fisk is in it. Or
I haven't seen the rest of Hawkeye yet. I
I haven't started
on. You can
Hawkeye
talk
yet.
about it for a second.
If Daredevil is in that, oh my god, I don't know. But yeah, we're
I say Kingpin might be in it, bro.
Yeah, Kingpin's in Hawkeye. Oh shit, I'm sorry.
That's alright. It's alright.
He
That's
said,
alright.
he said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Dude, that's dope though, dude.
Well, it's not confirmed yet if he is.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Well, alright.
But yeah, so they have him as the lawyer to try to help Peter with his legal trouble because they tried to arrest Peter on all these charges, but the lawyer is able to get all his legal charges dropped. But there's going to be
This is
even
Matt fucking Murdoch. That's like,
so there's gonna be even like more consequences for Peter outside of just like legal stuff. So Peter is like really trying to figure out what to do, and so he turns to the only other person that he can think of to help, and he goes to see Doctor Strange to
whoop, whoop.
so
Can we just go back? Cause I get it, it's a movie, but Peter, he's the only one. Gonna call him Nick Fury, who he was just with.
Well,
I
Nick,
guess they
Nick
said
Fury
he
was off the planet.
Yeah, they said he was planet.
yeah, because I remember at the end of Far From Home, they had like aliens like disguising themselves as like Nick Fury and other people. Yeah.
Which is a whole thing.
Bastards.
Wait, did they talk about that at all or anything? Mention anything about that?
No, but you know what? I did watch a
No.
video that said that the people that were interrogating Peter, they were probably Skrulls too. Because how did they know that Nick Fury was off planet? Like that's like a top secret thing that only Skrulls
Facts,
know about.
facts, bro.
Yo,
Yeah.
So they
Yo,
just
Marvel goes so in depth. Marvel goes so in depth, bro. My God.
Dude, that shit might be true.
All right. Anyways,
They
yeah,
won't
Devin.
fucking-
Let's keep it rolling.
So he goes to see Doctor Strange, and he talks to him about how, well, he walks in and the place looks like a blizzard, and he's like wondering why there's snow in there, and then a portal opens, and I didn't see the movie, but was that the guy from Quan-Chi,
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi? I don't know where the fuck I got
Quan-Chi.
Quan-Chi
No,
from.
dude, that's Wong. You don't know who Wong is, my boy?
Yo, he said Quan-Chi.
I
That's you through the phone.
I don't know where I got
Quan-Chi.
Quan-Chi from.
He said Q-Chi.
That's Mortal Kombat character.
Oh, yeah.
Quan-Chi.
Imagine
That's
if
the
it was
motherfucker that turned
Quan-Chi.
into people.
But so
That's Shao Kahn. No, wait. That's Shang Tsung.
Wait. Who the fuck am I thinking of then?
The white pale dude who
Chance.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, move on.
so he comes through the portal, and like the reason it's all snowy is because like the portal, every time like the portal opens in, I think he said it was Siberia, I think. Basically it turns like the whole place, like the blizzard comes with the portal or whatever. So then
Yeah, the blizzard went through the portal, yeah.
Yeah, and so then he talks to Doctor Strange, and he explains everything that's going on, and he wants him to do a spell to make everybody forget that he's Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange is saying he can't do it, but then he gets the idea that they could use an old ancient spell that Shang-Chi knows, and he asks him about it, and Shang-Chi's like, he's like, I don't know, that's pretty dangerous. If it goes wrong, a lot of bad things could happen, and shouldn't be messing with the multiverse and all that. And but then eventually he agrees to it. So they go down into Peter and Doctor Strange go down into this area. I forgot what he called it, but it's like
The crypt?
Yeah, it was the crypt.
yeah.
Yep.
So they go down to the crypt, and
The crypt.
Doctor Strange starts doing the spell, and it's working fine and everything, and then so he starts explaining the spell, and he's like, so everybody will forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and then Peter's like, wait, can't some people still know? And he's like, that's not how the spell works. And then Peter's basically saying like, oh well, MJ needs to know, and my best friend Ned needs to know, and Aunt May needs to know, and he keeps messing up the spell to where he changed it too many times, so the spell goes haywire and causes something to happen. They don't know what it is yet. And then Doctor Strange is able to he's able to condense the spell down into this cube, and he's able to contain it, but they don't yet realize what happened, and Doctor Strange is all mad, and he's like, well, you messed up the spell from changing it too many times. And he's like, who knows what happened. Oh, excuse me. And then I'm trying to remember what happened after that. You guys know what happened after that?
He makes a comment of Doctor Strange of, hey, you know, Peter, if you made your plea to the board, and if they still denies you, then like there's nothing you can do. And Peter's like, well, I could have did that. And it's like,
oh yeah.
So, and Doctor Strange is mad. He's like, dude, you didn't check in with the school before you came to me.
That shit had me down.
Damaging spell, which is really fucked up. Like, dude.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like, Peter, you dumbass. That's like
this whole movie is his fault.
It is.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like everything that goes wrong is because
he didn't make a freaking phone call. Because he didn't make a freaking phone call.
He literally did all he had to do was make a simple phone call. That's all he had to do.
Yeah. So so isn't after that where he goes to try to find the oh yeah, I remember what happened. So Doctor Strange gets mad at him and throws him out. So then I think that's when he calls the one guy, I forget his name, and he's like asking about the like the MIT meeting or whatever that had the people there, and basically the guy's like, well, he was like I'll tell you where she is if you swing me to school for a month. And Peter's like, I'll do it for 2 weeks. And he was like, a month. And he was like, I don't got time for this. And he was like, you know what I want. He's like, fine, I'll give you what you want. And he was like, which is? And he was like, I'll tell everybody you're my best friend. And then
yeah.
So then he tells Peter that the lady he needs to talk to had left, and she's on her way to the airport. So Peter has to go find her on the highway, and he eventually finds her. He changes from the Spider-Man suit to just a regular suit, and keep in mind he's in the middle of the highway doing this, and he knocks on her window, and he starts talking to her about his friends not getting into MIT and if there's anything she could do. And while that's going on, Peter senses something, and then there's like a rumbling coming from the highway, and then out from underneath the highway comes Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, and he starts wreaking havoc all over the highway. He's looking for Spider-Man. So Peter goes into the Spider-Man suit, and he starts trying to fight Doc Ock, and Doc Ock thinks that Peter is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and because he thinks he's still in his universe. So he's he's going after him. Meanwhile, Peter also has to save the whatever her name was, the MIT lady, all at the same time he's fighting Doc Ock and trying to save her so he can get his friends into the college. And every time he is about to save her, Doc Ock stops him. Eventually he pins Spider-Man up against the wall, and Peter takes his mask off, and Doc Ock is like, "You're not Peter Parker." And Peter's just like, "What are you talking about?" And then some of the nanotechnology goes from Peter's suit onto Doc Ock's mechanical arms, and so Peter is able to control Doc Ock's arms with his nanotechnology. So he controls the arms to bring them back up to the highway, and he saves the MIT lady, and she was like, "I'll talk to them about your friends for saving me."
Just
And then-
imagine being that bitch in the car though.
Yeah.
like, yo, I am pooping my pants, dog. Not even kidding.
Jesus Christ.
That's mad insurance claims right there, bro.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. So, Peter saves her, and then she, like I said, she was like, "Oh, I'll talk to them about considering your friends and you." And then Peter's like, "Well, this isn't about me." And she was like, she says it again. She's like, "Yeah, you and your friends." And basically like a take it or leave it type thing. And he tells her thank you. And then while that's going on, we hear the Green Goblin laugh, and
Fuck that bitch.
we see one of his grenades come in, and we see him flying in the distance, and Doc Ock looks up and he's like, "Osborn?" And then don't they get transported after that?
Yes, Peter Parker is transported into the crypt, where he's surrounded. And he's kind of surprised. What's going on here? He turns around. It's the fucking Lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man universe.
Mm-hmm.
He's there, and then who else is there? Oh yeah, Doctor Octopus. He's there. They're all trapped behind.
Sandman's there.
Sandman. Nope, Sandman's not there yet. He didn't go yet.
Oh no, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then Doctor Strange, he's like, "Peter, wait, okay, you fucked up." The spell has brought everybody who knows Peter Parker here. So you got work to do. You and your friends or whatever, y'all get to step in. Y'all go fix this.
Yeah, he specifically said, "Go Scooby-Doo this shit."
And then he had to say please.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
you have to please. That was very,
Yeah, so basically he gets Ned and MJ to help him as well. And so what he's supposed to do, Doctor Strange gives him like this thing that he puts on his wrist, and what Peter, all he has to do is like shoot it at them, and that'll transport them into the crypt where they're being held.
And he
then-
tried to do it to the one guy, and it went through him, and he zapped a tree into one of the.
Yeah. So the first place they figure out to go is they get a report that near a military facility they seen a flying monster. So Peter goes there thinking that it's going to be Green Goblin, and he gets there and he's looking around and he's by like a bunch of power
Electric, like-
wires,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I don't see anything." And then we see like electricity in the distance, and he's like, what was that?" And he keeps looking around, he doesn't see anything. And then we see Electro getting power from the pylon things, and Peter's like, "Who's that?" And MJ was like, "Isn't that the guy?" And Peter was like, "No, that guy was green. This guy's blue." And Electro was powering up and getting electricity so he could attack Spider-Man. And while that's going on, while Peter's trying to evade the electricity from Electro, out of nowhere comes Sandman, the Sandman from Spider-Man 3, and he is asking Peter, he's like, what is going on? Where am I? And Peter tries to explain everything to him, but Electro keeps attacking. So Peter's like, look, just work with me now and I'll explain everything. And he's like, help me contain him. And Sandman's like, alright. So he starts doing like this like sand tornado and around Electro to try to I guess weaken him so that way Peter can zap him to put him into the crypt. But Peter realizes the only way he's going to be able to do that is he has to unplug the pylons so that way Electro isn't getting powered up anymore. So he has to hurry up and do that before Sandman lets go, because Sandman's like, I can't hold him much longer. And he unplugs it. All the power goes off, and Electro comes down, and we see that it's the Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2, played by Jamie Foxx. And then Electro starts talking about, basically, Peter tells him he's in another universe, and Electro starts talking about, like, I was wondering why I felt that energy, like, it felt so different, and it felt so powerful, and I loved it, and I want more of it. And then both Electro and Sandman get zapped to the crypt, but also while that was happening, Peter accidentally sent a tree there, and so he asked if they came through, and they're like, yeah. I'm trying to remember what happened after that.
Ned asked if the tree was the hero.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Shit had me dying. So it's just a tree, man.
It's true, man.
Just a tree. Bro, Ned's one-liners throughout the movie just had me cracking the fuck up.
There's one that was really funny towards the end. We'll get to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
So
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
So the thing I'm trying to remember was after that when Aunt May called him about Green Goblin, or did that happen later?
Yeah, so from here, like you said, May is calling Peter about, like, hey, I think another one of your dudes showed up here. And it's like, oh, snap. So Peter rushes there, and it's Norman Osborn.
Played by Willem Dafoe again.
Or, well, actually, didn't we see him, like, in an alley?
Oh,
He was,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
battling with his inner demons, and he, like, smashed his mask. He
Yeah.
was like, you can never escape me, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Crazy shit.
We see he still has like a Jekyll and Hyde type mentality of, like, where one moment he'll be Norman Osborn, and then at random moments he can, like, snap into the Green Goblin. And it's something that he can't control either.
Yeah.
You should get that fixed.
Tony said, "You need to go see a doctor about that." So he goes to.
Oh.
Seven.
Hello?
Yeah.
My controller died. So I didn't mean for that to happen, but so
Itself.
so make sure you edit that other part out where
Edit that out.
But so he goes to the homeless shelter where Aunt May works, and which is that's actually something that none of the other Aunt Mays did, I don't think. Which is actually something that I wonder if they took that from the Spider-Man game, because
They did. A lot of people made a point of that.
Yeah, because in the Spider-Man game, like Peter and Aunt May like run a homeless shelter. So when I saw that, I was like, I wonder like if they got that idea from the game or like, cause,
Hmm.
but so Aunt May is like sitting there talking to Norman, and he's saying that he's confused and he doesn't know where he is and he doesn't remember what happened, and he needs help, and Peter just wants to zap him into the crypt and be done with it. But then Aunt May is like, no, like I think you can help these guys, like help fix them and help them with their problems. And Peter's like, well, they can just see a doctor for that in their own universes. And Aunt May's like, no, you need to do this. This is the right thing to do. And then Peter's like, he's like, well, they're not my responsibility or whatever. But Aunt May's like really like trying to get him to be like, you need to help him. And so doesn't he like, I'm trying to remember what happens after that. There's so much that happened in this movie. I'm trying to like remember
So from here,
everything.
Doctor Strange like popped back up, and he's like, "Okay, good. You got all these dudes here. They kind of go back to the crypt.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
'cause he does bring him back.
And Doctor
Bring
Strange shows back up. He's like, "Okay, good. They're all here. Good. We're ending
Locks
this.
him
All
in.
your buddies here. We're sending them back." And they're like, "Well, wait." Peter's like, "Well, like some of these dudes, they kind of died when like in their universe. So
Mhm.
like if we send them back, are they gonna die?" And Doctor Strange's like, "I don't give a fuck. Like
That's their
send them
fate.
back. Like that has nothing to do with us. We're sending them back. If they die, they die." Peter's like, "Come on, Doctor Strange." Doctor
Kirk
Strange is
Cousins
like,
shit.
"Bruh, they dying." But
Bruh,
no, it's
they
they
dying.
dying. Peter's like, "No, scoop that." He tries to take the box. They start fighting. They go outside.
This is a dope ass fight, by the way.
It really is.
It's not like a wrestling match. You said they go outside.
On the outside, Tom Holland.
Peter's pretty much on the defense here. He's pretty much trying to run away from Doctor Strange, but because
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is so magical, he can create mirrors with portals, and he can just make Peter like I said. It was weird. He made a portal, and like
It was crazy
Spider-Man,
too,
he
though.
like webbed his foot.
It was crazy too, though, because before he even started chasing him, he had like punched him out of his body. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man's reflexes was still able to like keep the box away from him somehow. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man is the first person to get their like soul punched out of them, but go back into their own body
Like willingly.
willingly. Yeah, no one else has
Yeah.
done that.
That's crazy. I didn't even
That's really
think
cool.
about that.
Yeah.
So there was
Yeah,
a
Doctor Strange even said something when he did it. He was like, "You shouldn't be able to be. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do that." Like,
You're right.
yeah.
He's like, how are you?
yeah,
I'm guessing because the spider sense.
Probably.
yeah.
It might
That's
be.
gonna have
Yeah.
to be an answered question. For the fucking...
But then they go into Doctor Strange is like, all right, fuck this. He didn't create a mirror dimension. It's I don't even know how to like describe this part because it's just like the
Yeah, it's
city's
crazy.
upside down. There's
Going
a
through
train
fucking...
going through a canyon.
The fucking Grand Canyon appeared somehow. They're in New York.
And all this to try to get this box back because you know
Literally. And then Peter starts doing math to figure out how to fucking get himself out of it. Just
And
crazy.
Yeah.
what I love, that's one thing that I like about this version of Spider-Man is that they focus how this Peter is really smart,
Yeah.
which I don't feel like the other ones focused on that. They did when he was Peter Parker, but in terms of Spider-Man, they don't really go into how smart he is. And this is the first time I feel like Spider-Man is like, oh, math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude was divided by pi and everything. I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
He was using the rotation of like
Oh, this is geometry.
divided by pi. Like that's pretty dope.
I
Yeah.
thought I was done with high school. It's like... Yeah, Doctor Strange tied all up in them webs.
Yeah, and then he closed him into a portal in I don't know what exactly that area was called, but he basically closed him into that area until later in the movie.
Yeah, I think he said it was like the Grand
Grand
Canyon later
Canyon.
on,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
So
that's irrelevant.
there was a scene where so Peter brought Norman to the crypt, and he walked him in, and then him and Doc Ock immediately like recognized each other, and they started talking to each other, and they start going at each other, and then eventually we find out from pretty much everybody, I mean except Sandman, because well, I don't know, because Sandman wasn't really that important to be honest.
It really wasn't. Yeah.
They really
Brought
just
him
said
back
fuck
all for fucking
Sandman.
like nothing.
Yeah.
My daughter.
I mean,
He made it simple.
I get why he was there, because they wanted like a villain from every one of the movies. So,
Whoa. Two things logically is fine. I don't have a problem with it, but it doesn't make sense. There are two things that don't make sense. Like they brought the lizard back. Like why? He was already fixed. Number one, like at the end of Spider-Man 1, like Dr. Connors is fixed. He's in jail, but like he's not the lizard no more. So that whole cure thing has already happened since Amazing Spider-Man 1.
yeah, that's true. I didn't think about
Yo,
that.
bro, they should have had Rhino or something, bro.
Yeah, they should have had Rhino. And two, the wish was for everyone who knows Peter Parker to come into their world. Well, someone pointed out, Electro at the very end, he didn't know Peter Parker because he said, "I thought you was black." That means he never saw what Peter Parker looked like.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So why
Yeah,
why
yeah,
was he
that
there?
actually, that does make sense now I'm thinking about it. Cause like Andrew even said, like he like even in the movie, like he basically like Electro or like Max like idolized him as Spider-Man, but he never knew that he was Peter Parker. That is right.
Right.
But
Small loophole, but
like the scene basically gets to where everybody, like all the villains, figure out that they all died pretty much. Like Doc Ock was like, he was like, no, like I had Spider-Man, I was choking him, and my machine was going in the water, and I had him, and then, and he was like, he's like, huh, I don't remember anything after that. And then Electro, he's like, nah, man, I remember what was going on. He's like, I was whooping Spider-Man's ass, you know what I mean? And then he started overloading the electricity, and I felt it, and then he was like, oh shit. And then and then for Lizard, he was like, what about me? Do I die or oh, cause basically it was like a thing of like Norman like didn't understand that he died, so Doc Ock was like, no, like you died, you got impaled with your own glider. And then Sandman was like, well, Doc Ock, you died after your machine fell into the lake.
Yeah.
And then Lizard was like talking to Electro, he's like, what about me? Did I die?
no,
And then
actually, he's actually fine.
yeah. But so Peter has MJ watch the cube, because Peter's gonna try to help all the villains to fix them. So he takes them all from the crypt. He gets them to trust him, at least for now, and he takes them to the new I think this was Happy's like apartment place or whatever, and he takes them all there, and they start getting to work, because in the apartment they show it earlier in the movie, there's like a box that's like a I don't remember what it was called, but it's like it's a Stark technology thing. I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, I can't remember it either.
Well, I don't remember what it was called, but he basically uses it. Him and Norman do some like science stuff, and they basically figure out like what's wrong with Doc Ock. Basically, how they showed in Spider-Man 2 how because he got electrocuted, the inhibitor chip got fried into his spine, so that means the arms control him instead of the other way around. So they basically come up with a way to fix it with a new inhibitor chip or whatever that they make in the cube thing. And he tells Doc Ock to hold still, and Doc Ock's like getting mad. He's like, "Don't touch me, don't put your hands on me, I don't need fixed." And then Peter like puts the thing on him, and it causes him to like slump over, and everybody's thinking that Peter killed him. And then Electro's like getting all uneasy. He was like, "I don't know about this, man. Did he just mess him up?" And then Doc Ock like raises back up, and he's like, "The voices in my head, they're gone." And he was like, I think they're gone. And then he's like gets all happy, and he's like, "Thank you so much." And he starts like acting all happy again. So then Peter, Norman, and Doc Ock all work together on figuring out how to fix the rest of them. And so they come up that also was this the yeah, so Lizard stayed in a truck outside. But so the first person they decide to fix up is Electro, and basically they design this thing that they put on his chest where once it turns all green, that means all his like electricity is deactivated or whatever. And so he puts it on Electro, and he's waiting for it to go down, and then Peter gets called for something. I'm trying to remember what he got called for, but he got like called into the room where Norman and Doc Ock were, and then Peter gets like this weird sense that something's wrong, and like no one knows what's going on with him. He just gets like this weird sense, and then all of a sudden Norman goes from Norman to Green Goblin, and he starts saying how he starts going on this monologue about how like, oh, we don't need fixing, and he's like, we have gifts and we should take over the world and utilize our gifts to our benefit. And then Electro like takes the thing off his chest, and he's like, I don't need fixing. And then Doc Ock tries to stop Norman, but he's unsuccessful, and he ends up getting thrown out the window, and he has to like try to save himself by grabbing onto the building. And then Peter
Jumping
starts
away and shit,
yeah, and then like Electro and Sandman, they Sandman just kind of like fades away, and then Electro escapes, and also Lizard escapes as well out of the truck. And so it's just Peter and Norman fighting, and they're fucking brawling all over this fucking building, going through floors and shit. It was a brutal fight.
Yeah, dude. Norman hit him with a nasty spine buster at one point.
Yeah.
Like 4 stories. Dude, I was like, what the fuck?
Didn't he hit him with a power bomb as well?
I think so,
Something
yeah.
like that.
Like Spider-Man, Peter, but Spider-Man is punching him in the face. He's just laughing at it. He's just laughing at him. Like,
Dude, yeah.
oh, so badass. And then power bombs him through like the floor. Like, what the
Lizard bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was useless as fuck. He was
he
just...
grabs him and just like, yeah, I told you, Peter. And it throws him back in the
He's the friend that does no work on the group
Said, "Told
project,
you,
but still
Peter."
gets an A. Back to the Lizard. Peter. I'm sorry.
So they had this big fight, and so there's like these like tubes of stuff that they made, which is like the antidotes to cure the rest of the villains. And Peter gives them to Aunt May. She puts them in her purse or bag, whatever it was, and she tries to escape the building. And they show while she's trying to escape, Peter and Norman are also getting towards the bottom as well because they're just fucking breaking through floors at this point.
Yeah, during the spine buster
And
from
basically,
hell.
yeah, Norman's saying like he was like, you're, what do you say? He said you're strong enough to win, and something. He said something like that. He was like, you're
Strong
strong.
enough to have it all. Or...
It was something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but and then he I think they end up going to like the very like bottom, and Aunt May's trying to escape with the stuff, and then Peter comes in, and then Norman comes in, and they start fighting again, and he knocks Aunt May down with the glider because like Norman gets Peter down, and he was like he said something to him where it was like he's like something something, but at what cost? And then we see Aunt May get taken out by the glider,
Yeah.
or something like sacrifice or something.
That was the big tearjerker, bro. That shit.
Yeah.
But you know what? They didn't go all the way with it like I thought they were going to.
No, they did.
Because when they had the glider behind her, I thought they were gonna full on impale her like.
Mm-hmm.
Like how he was in the first Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm talking full on impale.
Bro, sweet, bro, me too, bro. I thought she was about to get stabbed hard.
Yeah.
Dude, nah,
It
dude,
kinda
she
looked
just
like
got
it just, like, hit her,
bulldozed
so I was
into a
like, oh,
fucking
okay.
rock.
Yeah, the way they did it, it looked like it just like knocked her down. So I didn't think that she actually got like stabbed or anything.
Right.
And then like after he left, like she got up like all fine, and like they both got up and like hugged each other, and they're
I'm
like,
sure
let's
that
get
was,
out
like,
of here.
pure
And then she
adrenaline.
just fucking collapsed, and he's like, Aunt May, and starts like holding her.
Wait, you
And
heard a very, very, very important part of this story. We get something different from Spider-Man. We get a line from her that we usually get from
Uncle
Somebody
Ben.
else.
Yeah. Which I did
this
think
time
was
it's reversed.
interesting how they like how he had his well basically she said the iconic line that Uncle Ben always said, which was with great power comes great responsibility. And which I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting that they had Aunt May say it this time, that they had Aunt May die, because usually it's always like the story is like, oh, Uncle Ben died, and then he, before he dies, he says that, and that like sticks with Peter and whatever. But this time it was Aunt May that died, which I thought was an interesting like flip flop from the normal.
I
And
guess it
it,
makes sense because
and
everything
it,
about this Spider-Man is
mhm.
backwards.
Yeah, it helps set him apart from Toby and Andrew. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he's different already because I mean, one, he's with the fucking Avengers,
Right.
but it like in the core Spider-Man story, like it helps his story be different from them, I guess is how I would explain it. So it's not like the same carbon copy, like, oh, like my Uncle Ben died. Oh, my Uncle Ben died too. Oh, me too. Like,
Right.
like
I heard that they're making like a series on Disney Plus supposed to be the origin for the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
They are. They are.
I did not
It's
hear about that.
I wish it was live action. It is animated, which I don't have a problem with, but
Ooh.
that'd be pretty cool. So, like, I guess we'll get to see. It's supposed to be like the origin story about like him getting bit and everything like that. So that'll be nice.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he did say something in the movie about him getting bit, but we never see. I don't think we've seen like Tom
Yeah.
Holland's actually get bit.
Yeah, because in like in Homecoming, like when it because Homecoming takes place like after he was
Civil War.
yeah, after Civil War, when he was when he like cameoed in the Avengers thing, and so by that point, like his whole origin story had already happened, but we just hadn't seen any of it. So the movie just
Yeah.
kind of went right into like, oh, like everything already happened, so here's what happens from there. But they didn't do like the origin story. So it's cool that they're gonna do like a series on the origin story. It's gonna be interesting.
I also thought it was cool that like they actually acknowledged the fact that Toby's like webs like actually came out of his wrists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you remember that?
Hmm.
That was crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's something I
'Cause-
didn't think that they were gonna like even talk about, but then they did. I was like, oh shit! Like I didn't think they were actually gonna talk about that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But so after that, Aunt May dies, and
R.I.P.
Peter is all upset. And at that time, also, I forgot to mention, J. Jonah Jameson was on Spider-Man's ass in this movie. Like
Dude, fuck that bald bitch. Little balding bitch. I hated
like,
him the whole movie, bro.
like he was not letting up. Like he was trying everything he could to make Spider-Man look bad. He was like trying to be everywhere Spider-Man was to get a camera on him. Like it was he was
Dude.
being real anal about it. And
Literally, bro.
Got the anal cavity.
On his cheeks, bro. Dude
But-
was literally scaling a building, had the camera pointed up towards his ass. He said, I got ya. Remember that? He's like, I got you now. Like, bitch.
oh fuck you guys, yeah.
Alright.
So excuse me. So like in the midst of the whole fight, like the building got completely fucked and the cops got called because they're still like out for Spider-Man. And so the cops show up, and while they show up also, Green Goblin threw some grenades and like blew up all the cop cars and shit as well. But like the cops, so Happy arrives and he sees what's going on. He sees like Aunt May's dead, and the cops like get him out of the car and they're arresting him. And Happy's like yelling to Peter. He's like, "Run, run, escape!" And like Peter says goodbye to Aunt May and he leaves. And then when the cops get in there, there's like nobody there but Aunt May's corpse. And so then like Peter has this whole thing where he's like blaming himself for everything. He's all crying. And then we go to Mary Jane and Ned, who basically they're waiting to hear from Peter because basically Peter was like, if anything goes wrong, press the button on the cube and send everybody home. And MJ was like, well, if I don't hear from you, I'm gonna press it. So her and Ned are over at Ned's house, and they're waiting to hear from Peter, and they try to call him, he's not answering, and so MJ's like, I'm gonna press it. And when they're arguing about pressing it, I forgot to mention earlier, when Doctor Strange got locked in the Grand Canyon, he dropped his finger thing that allows him to do like the portals and stuff, and Ned picked that up and he had it on. So when they were arguing, he accidentally opened up a portal. Well, not portal, but he like did some magic, and they're like, what the heck was that? And like, so they decide to use it to do what Doctor Strange does, so that way maybe they can find Peter and see what's going on. So then we're getting to like probably the beginning of the best parts of the movie. The movie is already like really good by this point, but then this whole scene like made this movie
was insane.
Like it took this movie from like this is a good movie to like this is fucking awesome. So so Ned is like trying to open the portal, and he was like show me Peter Parker. And he opens a portal, and it's like this like back alley street, and they see a Spider-Man, and they're like, is that Peter? And I think it is, and they're yelling at him. They're like, Peter, come here. And he runs in and jumps through the portal, and we see that he's wearing the suit from Amazing Spider-Man. And then Ned's Nana comes in, and she's like all screaming because he's in the costume, and he takes the mask off, and we see is Andrew fucking Garfield.
Yeah. I was telling Jay and Brandon about this earlier, but I low-key thought during this part, I thought Andrew Garfield was Toby, I was so hyped to see Toby. I was like, let's fucking go, let's go. And then he took off his mask, and I was like,
You recognize the
it's
suit?
Andrew. I didn't, bro.
I do want to
So,
say,
I didn't, bro.
can y'all confirm for me, B and J? Did I notice it first?
Yes, you did.
You did.
Because like I was telling Brandon earlier when Ryan said that, I was like, dude, because Tony got so hype, and I was like, what are you getting so hype about? It's just Peter Parker.
Yeah, bro, that's what me and Jay, because me and Jay looked at Tony like, why are you getting and then we saw him jump through the portal, then that's when we
Yeah.
realized, like, oh shit, his outfit's like different, bro.
Because I was like, when they did the portal, I was like, wait a minute. Tom Holland, he wasn't over there, and he didn't have a
Right.
mask on. And I was looking, I was like, why is he so tall?
Right.
Oh no, Freddie.
This dude had that cell voice.
Oh my god.
I do want to say, before this scene, everybody in the theater, keep in mind this is a packed theater, was dead silent, and this scene came on, and everybody just started, like, actually making noise in the theater.
Yeah, our theater was quiet. It was
Damn,
boring.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, my theater sucked.
Bro, my theater saw Andrew Garfield take his mask off, and they stayed quiet.
My
Yeah.
theater booed Andrew Garfield.
I'm dead
My
serious.
theater blew up
Tony,
when
right?
Andrew Garfield took his mask off.
Yo, Tony, right? When Andrew Garfield took his mask off, wasn't like our theater dead quiet?
Yeah, we.
It was like dead quiet for a lot of shit.
Yeah, we are the ones that kind of like.
Yeah, we were the ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if it wasn't for us, a lot of people wouldn't have got. I felt there was some girls down below that were like kind of crying and screaming, like way down. I heard
Oh yeah, I
them.
heard them. Yeah, they popped a little for Andrew. They popped for Toby.
Right.
They
I
popped
heard
for
them
Dick.
cheer a couple
I
times,
popped.
too.
Dude, I popped so hard for freaking Toby, dude.
Oh yeah, let's get to that part, bro.
So Andrew takes the mask off, and we see it's him, and it like pauses on him for a moment, obviously, so the audience could react, and then they're like, you're Peter Parker, and he's like, yeah, and they're like, you're Spider-Man, and he's like, yeah, and they're like, prove it, and he's like, you want me to prove that I'm Spider-Man when I'm already wearing the suit? And so he I think he did he shoot a web, or was
No,
it
he
a?
like jumped. He like jumped.
He jumped and
like,
stuck to the ceiling.
Oh,
put his
yeah,
hand
yeah.
up and just stuck there.
Yeah, and then
But that
MJ
wasn't
was
enough.
like, she was like, crawl around. He's like, crawl around? Are you serious? And then fucking Ned was like, his Nana
Is
said
it the
something. He was like,
Conjuring?
my Nana wants to know if you can get that cobweb while you're up there. Just fucking dumb shit. And he's
He
like,
did.
sure. So then
Anything for the grandma.
he gets the cobweb and gets down, and they're not really sure what to do, and they're like, well, maybe we could try doing it again to find the Peter we're looking for. And Ned tries a couple times to open the portal, and he was like, show me Peter Parker, please. And another portal opens, and we see someone in shadow, and he comes into the light, and it's Tobey fucking Maguire. I was fucking like when I saw
Dude, I was so hyped.
Andrew, I was like, I was marking out. I was excited, but I was like, if Andrew's here, Toby's got to be here. Toby has to be here. And then I saw Toby. I was like, oh shit, oh shit. I was marking out so hard, man.
Let's fucking God.
Dude, when Toby came out, there was people legit, like, crying in the theater
I
was in.
I was
Yeah,
fucking
bro,
tearing
I
up,
teared
bro.
up too.
Dude, me
I-
too, bro. I did.
I
I
couldn't
was
believe
trying
it.
to hold it in because I'm just like, shit, dude.
Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my fucking god, I get to see Toby in a Spider-Man movie again. Like I couldn't believe it. Like, and then fucking Ned was like, because he wasn't in the fucking Spider-Man suit, Ned was like, oh, it's just a fucking regular guy. And I bet everybody watching was like, no, that's fucking Tobey Maguire. That's Tobey fucking Maguire. Like, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Like, but so he walks through the portal and they're like, "You're Peter?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm Peter Parker." And so now they're like, "Well, what the fuck do we do?" Now we got two Peter Parkers from different universes. And then that's when Toby and I like how they didn't just go right into like them meeting up with Tom Holland. Like they let Toby and Andrew kind of have like a moment.
Their little moment, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so like they seen each other and like Toby seen that Andrew was dressed like Spider-Man, and so they both shot a web at each other. I guess it was just to kind of confirm that they were both Spider-Man to each other.
They both did like that weird backflip, walk on the ceiling motion thing at
Yeah.
the same time. It was crazy. They're like, huh, rad. Ned and MJ are sitting there like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So then they're trying to figure out like where their Peter Parker is, and they're where do you think he would go? And like basically Toby was saying he was like you know like when I would get upset, I would always go to the top of the Chrysler building. And Andrew was like, for me it was the top of the Empire State.
Yeah.
And
View was better.
And then Toby was like, so do you think like he would have anywhere like that he would go? So I forget what the building was, but they're like
Top
they're
of the
like,
high school.
Yeah, it was top of high school.
Yeah. So she's like, yeah, I know where he is. So then they cut to Tom Holland sitting on top of the high school, and he's just like, he's bawling his eyes out. He's so like this was getting to the part where it was like getting really emotional.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple emotional parts, but like this scene was like pretty heavy. And
There's one coming up that's even heavier than me.
Yeah,
yeah.
We'll get to that one though.
it's kind of like
I say like he needs to grow up.
it's kind of crazy because at this point, like, you have Toby and Andrew, they're back, and like it's supposed to be like this really happy moment, but the first time they meet, Tom's Spider-Man, it's so hard to get them. It's really hard. He's not even
Spider-Man
happy
1.
to see them. Yeah, Spider-Man 1. He's not even happy to see them.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's
dude,
like,
I
I
don't
need
care,
to see
dude.
y'all
Like,
back
my dad
home.
just died.
Like,
Yeah, go home.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
bro, like,
man.
let me just go eat a bullet, you know?
So basically MJ and Ned find him and they're like hugging him, and Peter just like starts breaking down about Aunt May, and then MJ's like, there's some people here to see you, and then he looks up and sees Toby and Andrew sitting there, and like Peter's like, what are you guys doing here? Like, you guys need to go home. You don't belong here. And he's like, don't even try to tell me you know what I'm going through. And Peter's just, he's like, I'm done. I'm done being Spider-Man. Everything's my fault. I can't do this no more. And he's at the point where all he wants is he wants a Green Goblin dead. Like that's all he wants. And he's so filled up with rage. And so then Toby and Andrew start talking to him, where Toby was like, my Uncle Ben died, and like Tom looked at him, and Toby was like, so I made it my mission to hunt down the man that did it, and I wanted him dead. And he was like, and you know what? I killed that man, but it still didn't make things better. And he was like, it still didn't take away the pain of Uncle Ben dying. And then Andrew was like saying his Uncle Ben died too, and he was like my girlfriend died because this plays into a later part of the movie. He was like my girlfriend Gwen died because she fell from a tower, and
Yeah,
I wasn't
dude, I
quick enough
remember
to
that.
save her.
That shit
And
was sad.
like when they're like all explaining their stories, like both of them started tearing up too, and like that's where I was like, fuck man, like this is like starting to get to me.
Yeah.
They were like that's what I loved. Like they were putting so much like emotion into it, and like it really felt like it wasn't just a thing of like oh my God, Toby and Andrew are back, and like this is, huh? What did he say?
I think he said his mom was here.
Oh, well, what I was saying was like I liked how it wasn't just like oh my God, Toby and Andrew are back and like they're here and they're with Tom and they're kicking ass. Like they actually like took moments to actually give like each Peter their own like time, and they treated not only like this trilogy like with respect, but they also treated the Tobey Maguire movies and the Andrew movies like with respect, and they like took them seriously, and they actually like they let the characters show that even all this time later, like they still feel like this pain and the residual like effects from their movies. And I really like that. Um, and so Peter like starts getting like an understanding that they do kind of know what he's going through, and then Toby's like, I know you want that man dead, but killing him's not gonna solve any of the problems, and it's never gonna heal the pain of losing Aunt May. And so they decide that they're all gonna work together to help Tom Holland take down all of the villains. And so they go into, I think it was like the lab in the school, I think. And they, since all the Peters are science nerds, like they're all working in the lab, and they're all like coming up with more of the cures for the villains. And we actually got like some really good like banter with some of them, like the whole conversation came up about like Toby being able to shoot the web from within him instead of like needing to refill web shooters, which I was surprised they brought that up, because I thought it was a thing that they weren't like, I thought it was a detail they weren't really gonna pay attention to, but I'm glad they did, because when they brought it up, I was like, oh shit, like now I'm interested to see like how they explain that. And I mean they didn't really explain it. It was just like, I don't know, it's just like breathing, it just happens.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I'm trying to remember what happened. So Ned was talking to Toby, and he was like, do you have a best friend? And Toby was like, I did. And Ned was like, you did? And he was like, yeah, he died in my arms because you turned evil and tried to kill me. And like Ned just looked all shocked. And
Dude, yeah, his face, dude, had me die.
Dude, what Ned said next to fucking
Peter.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 1.
Fucking had me dying.
Dude, me too, bro. That shit
Yeah.
had me fucking peeing my pants.
So when Toby was talking about that, he was talking about in Spider-Man 3 where Harry turned into Goblin Jr. and tried to kill him, is what he was talking about. And so Ned just kind of walks away awkwardly, and like he walks up to Tom Holland, and like he starts doing whatever on the computer, but he's acting like all awkward, and he's like trying to like he was like trying to like not do anything wrong to him, because now he's scared that he's gonna kill him. Yeah. What was it that he said to him that you were talking about?
He like
Oh,
hugged him and
he hugged him. He was like, I promise I'm not gonna do that.
He's like, I promise I'm not gonna turn evil and try to kill you, because
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's like-
yeah. And
he's
then,
like,
Tom
Yeah,
was like,
I made
okay.
portals.
yeah,
I made portals. I promise.
yeah. Oh man. So then I'm trying to remember what happened after, because I know they do like the whole thing where, like Tom, he like calls into the Daily Bugle and with J. Jonah Jameson, and he's doing like this video call, and basically like their plan is to like lure all the villains to the Statue of Liberty, basically. And because they and the reason they're coming there is because they have the box, which is like, so if they press it, all the villains are fucked. So all the villains are gonna want that box, so that way they don't press it and have to go back to their universe where they die. And so basically like Peter is like doing this whole thing where he's like telling all the villains that they're at the Statue of Liberty with the box, and he's like, and for all my supporters out there, thank you for your support. And he's like, you know, for everyone, I hope I don't let you down, and I could really use your support right now. And while he's like trying to do all that, J. Jonah Jameson is just trying to like insult him, and he's trying to like spin it to where he's saying he's evil, and then Tom Holland's just fucking ignoring him. And
hang on, I'm just realizing now. If he did that with the video call, how the fuck did Lizard know where to go? Because he came out of the water.
I don't know.
I mean, he can swim, and he swam in the sewers. In the Amazing Spider-Man 1.
True.
Yeah. But so after that, they are at the Statue of Liberty, and they're waiting for all the villains to get there. And well, actually, there was like a funny line before that where like Tom and Andrew were like in their suits, and then they just looked at Toby. They're like, "Are you gonna stop looking like a 50-year-old pastor, or do you have your suit, or like
or a
he said
cool
something-
youth pastor?
Yeah, cool
something
youth
like that.
pastor." And Toby like pulled his shirt down. He had the Spider-Man suit on. I was like, "Oh shit!"
That shit was hard.
And so then they're all at the Statue of Liberty, and they're all like in their suits. It was so like unreal just seeing all
Dude,
three
I
of them
know.
together,
It was
dressed
crazy.
up in the suit. And then like I was getting like so much just nostalgia just seeing Toby in the suit again after so fucking long. And like they're all basically talking about the plan, how they're gonna lure all the villains there and basically inject them with the cure, and that should cure all of them. And that's like the whole plan. And so we get like another moment with like Andrew and Toby, and like they reference a Bully Maguire meme where like Toby's trying to like stretch, and Andrew's like, "Are you all right?" And Toby's like, "Yeah, it's just my back." And so Andrew's like, "You want me to crack that for you?" And he like picks him the fuck up and is like bouncing him, and then you hear like a loud crack, and Toby's like, "That felt good, man."
I didn't know that was a reference to something.
Yeah, it's a reference to I think it was Spider-Man. It was either Spider-Man 1 or 2 where like Peter lost his powers for a little bit, and he like ran and jumped off the building. He was like I'm back, and then he like fell from the building, and he like landed on a car, and it fucked his back up, and he like tried to stand up. He was like, "My back. Oh, my back." And like that became like a meme. And I was surprised they referenced that.
My
Like that's like
fucking
super
back.
detail right there.
He said, "My fucking back."
Jesus Christ. But so they have this like nice little moment where like Andrew's sitting there, and he's just looking like all disheveled, and Toby's like, "What's the matter?" And Andrew's like, he's like, "You guys are so cool, and I'm just like so lame. Like you guys." Like Tom was saying how he got to like fight a purple alien like on Earth and in space, and then like Toby got to fight all these cool villains, and Andrew's like, he's like, "Man, like I didn't get to fight aliens, and like I didn't get to do this and this," and he's like, "Man, I'm just lame." And Toby was like, I got the nod from this. He was like, "Nah, man, you're not lame. Like, don't talk to yourself like that. Like, you, my friend, you are amazing." And I was like, "Ah, I see what he did there." And he was like, "You are amazing." He's like, "No, stop me." He's like, "No, you're amazing, man. Like, stop, like, getting so down on yourself."
I get it. Cause
The amazing Spider-Man, you
he's
bitches.
spectacular.
Get it? Because he's very good? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, I think the first one to show up, I think it wasn't it Electro? He was the first one to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Electro shows up, and he's talking about how, like, they're trying to convince him to let them fix him. And he's like, no, like, I want all this power. I want to take over this new universe. It's like all this power and energy like I've never felt before, and I want it all. And so he starts like attacking them, and like they're trying to all work as a team, which they're not very good at, and they all get beat the fuck out of by Electro. And so they're all trying to figure out what to do, and they're like, we need to work as a team, and we need to and then Tom was like, he's like he's like, I worked with a team before, and he was talking about how he was part of the Avengers, and Toby was like, he was like, you're in the Avengers, and Tom was like, yeah, and Toby was like, all right, what is that?
And Andrew was like, yeah, is that like a band?
Yeah, he was like, you
Are you in
guys
a
don't have the
band?
Avengers? Yeah. He said, is that like a band? Are you in a band?
Yeah. It's like, no, it's not a band. Whatever. That's besides the point.
He was like, but anyway, we need to like go after the enemies one by one and work together, because then Lizard showed up from the water, and also Sandman showed up as well. And so they all decided to go after Sandman first, I think.
Yeah.
And they end up getting him like inside the Statue of Liberty.
Where Toby almost drowns in sand.
Yeah, he almost drowns in the sand because they keep dropping the antidote, but they end up getting it to him, and Toby like sticks it into the sand grains, I guess.
And there was like a sick like throw, like when
Yeah.
Andrew threw it to Tom, like the angle at which they like shot that was sick.
Yeah, he was like, nice throw, and he was like, thanks, nice catch.
Toby's sitting there, I'm fucking dying.
Yeah, he was literally like fucking sinking into the sand. But he catches it, like injects it into the sand, and then like all the sand disappears.
Injects it into the sand. Never thought.
I don't know how else to explain it unless like the fucking needle went into like the like tiny ass sand grains. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Because
It's
it's
like
like
individual. Said individual needles for each grade of sand. It's like,
but so all the sand disappears, and we see him start to transform back into Flint from how he looked in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, did y'all notice? I'm pretty sure, and I saw some people say this too. I think that's the same shot from Spider-Man 3. I swear they just reused scenes.
Like, what do you mean?
Y'all did? Like, I don't think the actor was there. I think they just took scenes from the Spider-Man 3 and just boop, copy and paste.
you think they got the tech to do that?
Yes.
To make it look
Wait, so
like
you think Tobey Maguire wasn't even there?
No, I'm talking about
No,
Sandman.
Sandman's part.
Oh, Sandman. I was about to say Tony. Don't even.
No, the Sandman.
Oh, bro,
There's
Sandman
paparazzi.
Sandman looked way older.
Did he look older to you?
he did look old as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
When
bro,
they
he
showed
looked-
his face, I was like, is that the same shot from that movie?
I mean, yeah, I was thinking that too, but then I realized, bro, like, because they showed a flashback of like him in the older movie, and he looked young as shit in the older in Spider-Man 3, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he had like the same clothes on and everything, and I was surprised it was actually the same actor because it didn't when he was the Sandman, like it didn't look like the same guy. So I was like, I wonder if he's the same guy.
Yeah, I think they did say he did the voice acting. Just no mocap, I guess. He wasn't there to show up on.
Yeah.
Did you? I don't know. I didn't like how he was saying the entire time though.
It was
How
probably
you
easier
stand.
for him though.
What was that?
So it was
Say
probably
it's
easier.
probably easier for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Alright, where you at?
I was doing something real quick, but so so like I said, Sandman turns back to he's like turning back into just Flint, and they cut away from that because Electro is still attacking, and now Lizard is attacking, and so we see one shot where Ned opens a portal and Tom gives the box to Ned so that way none of the villains can get it, but like Ned knows how to open the portal but he doesn't know how to close it, so they're trying to close it, and we also got like a couple like reunion parts where
Which I
like
also,
where
which
like
Dev, if you don't mind me interrupting you, which I don't understand why Ned wasn't able to close the portal, because whenever he opened the portals to like introduce the
Yeah,
other
they
Peters,
closed.
they
Yeah.
closed. And
yeah
like I get that he didn't do it, but like wouldn't you think like after a second it would have closed by itself like it did before?
yeah that
That's
is true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, cause like especially like when like the Lizard like went through there, and then Tom Holland
Right.
went through there as well, like all that commotion was going on, then they went back out through the portal again, and it's like you would thought it
Yeah.
would have
Maybe
like
it was
closed
because
on them.
he kept on like trying to redo it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
He kept on like doing the hand signals. Maybe like maybe
Maybe
it
because
would
they
have
were so
closed.
focused.
He
Maybe
kept
because
on
they were so
he kept on
focused
like
like on the
opening
other
it back up.
side. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
What the
Who
fuck?
the fuck is talking to Lester on the
Is
phone?
that Lester?
Who the fuck? Who the fuck planning a heist?
It's so random. It just got so quiet, and we all just
I'm
heard Lester. Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
Oh,
Austin,
shit.
was that you talking? And I was like,
Jesus Christ. Oh shit.
So
But as you were saying, Devin, yeah.
So they had like a couple reunion parts where like Andrew like he like swung towards Electro, and he was like, "What's up, Max? How you doing, buddy? I haven't seen you in a
Yeah.
long time." And then there was also one with the Lizard as well. I forget what he said to him, but he tried to fight off the Lizard, but Lizard ended up going through the portal anyway, and they like fucking destroyed the whole place that they were in, and then went back out through the portal. And uh, also Ned and MJ had to come through the portal as well. And then as everything is going on, like as everything is going on, the portal closes, and I think this was the part where like Doctor Strange came back out.
Yeah.
And so at this point, Tom Holland had Lizard pinned down, and he like injected him, so
Yeah,
he
and
started
healed him,
turning
yeah.
back into Dr. Connors, and Doctor Strange was like, he was pissed. He was like I was hanging upside down in the Grand Canyon for 12 hours.
Imagine
And
that.
and fucking so he was mad, and like Ned and MJ were trying to explain how like the plan was working, and then Doctor Strange saw Lizard turning back into Dr. Connors. He was like, well, I'll be damned, he's actually doing it. And then they also ended up injecting Electro as well and stopping him. And it was harder
with the
for
help
them
of Doc
to...
Ock,
Yeah.
because he had them both in like a thing, like that electric current. I think it was Andrew and Toby, and Doc Ock came out of nowhere, freaking grabbed him. He's like, I got it from here. Then he freaking just turned on him and fucking did it, dude. I was so hyped during that shit, dude.
Yeah, because he had to use his metal arms to like because Electro had part of the like Stark technology on his chest, which was giving him more power. That's why they weren't able to beat him. So Doc Ock just fucking ripped that shit off.
Facts.
And
dude, I was fucking mad at first because I was like, Doc, you fucking bitch. We made you better. And then he freaking...
Yo, I can only imagine Ryan as like a side guy in a movie.
Oh man.
No, but for real, bro, I was heated, and then he turned around and I was like...
He said I was heated. he said make me part of the Avengers. Nick Fury.
Really
you pussy.
My gears,
grinding my gears. Holy cheese and crackers.
Alright, but as you were saying, Duff.
So Doc Ock like injects Electro with the shit, and he, well, I guess it would be taking all the electricity out of him, I guess, and so
just making him normal.
Sure.
Yeah, and so Electro falls down, and then
it's kind of stupid, but
yeah,
right.
and then we see like Andrew start talking to Electro, I think, or was that later?
I think that might have been right after, yeah, because then
I don't know.
It was right after.
Okay, so Andrew like was talking to Electro, and they're having a little nice back and forth, and Electro made like the comment, he was like, you know, I thought you were black, and Andrew was like, well, I'm not, or he said something like
so
that.
Like, what? No.
And
so, I'm sorry, man.
he said, I'm sorry, man.
Sorry, brother.
And so Electro starts talking about, he's like, you know, I thought he's like, there's got to be a black Spider-Man out there somewhere, which is I think it's a reference to Miles Morales.
Yeah, dude, I heard hella Miles Morales at that point.
Yeah, that was lit, bro.
It was.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize that the first time.
Yeah.
And until me and Brandon watched that, we watched that thing where he found out about what we just talking, that the Easter egg video that we were watching.
Do you think Miles will be in the next one? Will we see a live action Miles?
That would be cool.
Who would they get to play him?
I think they should get like. I feel like they should like, you know, like
the kid from Cory in the House.
Jesus Christ.
I was gonna say the kid who played Everybody Hates Chris, bro.
He said Cory in the
bro.
House.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that back in the day.
Wait, hold on. Who played Little Bill?
Stop.
Oh, animated.
Oh my god.
Hold up.
Yo,
Who really could play him, bro? Who really could play him?
Bro, Kevin Hart.
Just come on
Yeah.
now.
Kevin Hart's too old, bro. You can't play
Kevin Hart.
Bro, come on, bro. Kevin Hart.
Listen, I know
Hart.
he's short, but we can't be playing him.
No, man, I want just like everybody else. I want everybody else. I want unknown actor, just like everybody else. Like I didn't
Imagine-
know.
What about Tony?
I didn't know who Wanda is. I didn't know
There
who
you go.
Chadwick Boseman was. I didn't know who.
What about
Tony. Tony got signed up. You.
What about Tony?
Yeah, Tony, you do it, bro.
No,
Make your debut, bro. Make your debut, boy.
I can't. He's black and Latino. You gotta be somebody who's mixed.
Ain't that you?
Childish Gambino.
The Childish Gambino, bruh.
Childish Gambino was his uncle. In the MCU, Childish Gambino was his uncle.
Oh, for real?
True.
Yeah, they're
Wait,
serious.
in what MCU, bro?
In the MCU, Miles, they did
In what movie?
Homecoming. His uncle's in
Homecoming. That's
Homecoming.
right.
And
That's
he
right.
called Miles in
shit.
Homecoming. He's like, "Hey Miles, I'll be home late. Something got mixed up."
Oh shit. So it's
So
gotta be
they
Donald
planned
Glover's son.
Miles like a long time ago.
It's gotta be Donald Glover's son whenever he has one.
Yeah,
I don't know if he has a son.
well, be his nephew.
True. His real life nephew.
So I don't know.
What were you saying, Devin? This got so far off topic.
Oh my
Imagine
god.
that they pull some shit where like Jamie Foxx is like, there's gotta be a black Spider-Man somewhere, and it's just
Oh, yeah.
fucking Jamie Foxx.
What the fuck?
Oh god.
It's fucking Rick Ross. Before the pairs.
Oh my
Bro, it's
god.
fucking Mark Henry.
I speaking on the trees with the motherfucker.
Big Daddy V.
Oh
I'm swinging
my
from a
god.
web with a motherfucker. I'm sorry.
But I don't know who they would have to play Miles.
Oh
It would have to be
my
someone
God.
young. But then again,
Shelton Benjamin.
Bill
it's
Cosby.
gonna be a minute before they do anything like that. I think they're gonna focus more on the cartoon movies for a minute
Man.
because Into the Spider-Verse is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
That's a two-parter too.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is they gotta like wait. Like I gotta catch up.
Yeah.
Ain't finna wait for you, Jay.
Well, they need to.
So
Okay, listen, I didn't watch them since I was 9. My bad.
Hey, listen, I got bullied out of watching Marvel, bro. I got made fun of in Gerard.
I wish somebody was telling me not to watch Marvel. I'd be like, motherfucker, you dumb as fuck. What you watch? And if they say something like CSI, I'm like, yeah, shut up, you and your fucking old ass.
Bro, the acting in those shows
Yeah,
are
but for
horrible.
real, bro, man. For real, bro. My school, man.
I mean, yeah, I understand. I know Gerard would be like that, but fuck Gerard
Yo,
for
hot
that.
take, but the Food Channel, fire.
No, it is
I watched.
changed. Marvel was kind of being taken over by like girls.
Hell yeah,
Like
bro.
Wanda.
Oh yeah.
No. Alright. But
Like WandaVision is like huge.
Yeah, bro. That was fantastic, bro.
That has like a huge like cult following right now with like a lot.
Wait,
of,
hey, so like, what does it mean that Quicksilver played her brother?
that's another thing. Oh my, you know what? That's another thing that I forgot about.
Because like that really like confused me. And like, is this supposed to be a sign, or are they just having them play him because they have the same power?
So basically, when this was going on, like when WandaVision was going on week by week, like fans were theorizing like, oh, like they were teasing us all that whole thing with Quicksilver and that being his brother and all that was like a joke on us, to us fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did it on purpose. Like the directors came out and said, yeah, sorry, that's not really Quicksilver. We wanted to tease y'all. Because they are gonna bring the X-Men in eventually,
Yeah.
but that was just a little fuck y'all. Like they said
Yeah, I was saying, because ain't like the X-Men series on Disney Plus right now?
yeah,
Yeah.
they're making a new one too.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But that whole Quicksilver thing, this is just a joke.
Okay. Makes sense. I was thinking it
Alright.
was, bro. I was thinking it was. But like I didn't know nothing about Pedro, but like I just like found out about Pedro today because I just watched Age of Ultron for the first time.
Yeah, everyone was kind of mad when we found out. Like, oh, so that's not really Quicksilver? Fuck y'all.
shit. But Far From Home.
You mean No Way Home?
Yes.
Yeah, so Devin, where is you at, Devin?
He said so far from home.
He said it with such confidence too.
Oh my god.
I didn't mean to, point that out or anything, but
No, you good. Thanks for correcting.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you
He said, "You mean no way home?" Like, bitch, yes. That's what I fucking meant.
So, so after the whole Miles Morales reference, so after that happens, I think that's when Green Goblin shows up, and also Doctor Strange is like he was like it's nice that you're helping them and like you're saving them or whatever, but like I still gotta activate this thing, like I still gotta activate it, and then out of nowhere like Green Goblin comes in and he takes the cube, and then Spider-Man and fucking goddamn it, Tom. I'm gonna start getting confused if I say Spider-Man or Peter at this point, because they even got confused because they had to call each other Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3, and
Oh,
even they were
God, I
getting
remember
confused who's who.
I remember the part where fucking Andrew's like, Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 3.
Mine got canceled. I'll stop. That was
Cancel.
funny. I was just playing one part. But so
Trending right now, by the way.
huh?
My movie
it?
sucked. I'm sorry.
Andrew Garfield is
oh damn.
What?
in
He's
Amazing
what?
Spider-Man 3.
They're making Amazing Spider-Man 3.
The fans after No Way Home are clamoring for it.
I saw some people on Twitter being like, if you guys wanted Amazing Spider-Man 3, you should have came in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Shit.
True.
You know. But so Green Goblin takes the cube, and Tom and Doctor Strange are standing there like, well, fuck, now we gotta go handle that. So so Tom goes to get the cube from Green Goblin, and I'm trying to remember. I think the other Spider-Men were helping him, or were they not? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think so.
No.
Because I know that
When Tom was going to go fight Green Goblin,
yeah,
the other Spider-Man didn't help him.
yeah, because I
It
know
was just him.
I know they were fighting, and then like they knocked like this big ass like circle off the Statue of Liberty, and then like the whole scaffolding and everything came down as well.
It was
And-
the Captain America ship.
Hmm.
Oh. Well, that's embarrassing. But
Not as embarrassing as being called the movie Far From Fucking Home.
to be fair, I called Captain America's shield a big circle. So, I didn't know it was a shield. I thought it was like, I mean, now that yeah, because at first I was like, why does the Statue of Liberty just have this like giant ass like plate around it? Or whatever? But I get that
It's a
makes
new
sense that it's the
addition.
shield. But so they knock
Trying to
all that
spice it up.
down, and
He
then
was hungry.
so Tom and Green Goblin start fighting on the shield, and like
Tom fucks him up.
yeah,
Dude, I was
Green
hyped.
Green Goblin's still talking shit,
Put
and
it
then
short.
Tom
Yeah.
starts fucking him up, like he's beating
Dude,
the
every-
living shit out of him.
Every hit, I'm like, bitch, bitch, bitch. Like,
Right,
the
bro.
entire time.
He's like Jake Paul in him every hit, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Jake Paul, Tyron would
Tyron
be too.
type shit.
so he like Tom is filled with so much rage that he's red in the
kill him.
face. He picks up Green Goblin's glider, and he looks like he's about to do like a remake of Spider-Man 1 and like stab it
Yeah.
through him. And as he's going to do
Should
it,
have.
almost said Tom. Tobey Maguire stops him, and he's just looking at him in the face, and he's just like, remember what I said earlier about like, killing the person you want dead doesn't like solve the problem or whatever. and then like Tom
Yeah.
starts to calm down. He puts the glider down, and then fucking Green Goblin stabs Toby in the back, and I was like,
Oh
no.
my God,
I was like,
I
no,
was
please,
fucking
please,
mad,
Toby, don't die,
dude.
please.
I was fucking
Got my back.
I thought he was dead. I thought he was
Yeah,
dead.
bro. I
Yeah.
really thought he was about to die. Like I was tearing up. I was tearing
Toby
up.
said, "I'm done playing Spider-Man. Just kill me off at the end."
Oh.
I thought they would do that.
Yeah, for real. I thought they were. I was about to say,
Yeah.
man, this is my boy.
That was my thought process too.
Yeah,
It
so
felt like it was time.
I'm gonna say, do you guys not think that was the last time we'll see Toby? Do you think we'll see him again?
I think. Whoa.
I was about to say, because I mean, that ending, like how it ended, and like it felt so real, and
mhm.
I don't know, they might have done that for a reason.
I feel like. Well, let's go over one important thing. I think besides the movie being great, viewing wise, money wise, are y'all aware that this movie in just a week became the
third most or second? Yeah.
The second highest growing movie of all time in the opening weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. It made like 250
30.
mil.
Yeah, I thought it was 234, but you might be right. It might
Yeah,
have been
something
more.
like that. 234, 243, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the highest grossing film of the year so far as well.
Worldwide, some states, some countries can't even see it. China, they're not even allowed to watch it. Some countries are.
China, if you're watching, I apologize for spoilers.
Yeah, so sorry we ain't there. No America, buddy.
Wait, hold up, bro. Why is China not allowed to watch it?
Dude, China ain't allowed to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, China is something. It's
Why are we talking about?
something going on with China, like politically wise. They're not allowed to.
Well, everything's always going on with China. My bad, China. Do not come strike me and nuke me or anything. I'm just
Oh
saying.
my-
I feel bad for y'all.
Oh,
I feel bad for y'all.
Jesus.
I said I feel bad for them. What'd you want me to say? I'm saying I apologize you cannot see the movie.
Jay.
Don't come nuke me.
Jesus.
Oh my god. Oh.
Jay's gonna get a letter from cancel culture tomorrow.
I think they made. Hold on. I think this movie made over 260 million.
Let's just
Damn.
say it's a lot more than all of us have combined.
If I'm Kevin Feige,
Facts.
I'm calling up
fat
Tobey
facts.
Maguire. I'm calling up Andrew Garfield. Hey, when do y'all want to return? I don't think this movie would have been as big if it wasn't for these two either.
Mhm.
Like take them out. Take this plot out. You change the plot to something completely different where it's just Scorpion. It's just Scorpion and Spider-Man.
Then wouldn't the question come up as, would anybody remember them? Or does that spell not work for them? Would that spell just work for that timeline? Or
Oh, it's
Would
way
that-
higher than we.
That's interesting.
would that go into now nobody knows Toby or Andrew?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Or Miles.
Yeah, or Miles.
interesting. Miles is Peter Parker.
Well, yeah, he's not. He's not. That is fact. Yeah, you're right there.
I looked up
He's
the
not.
gross so far.
How you said that? You're like, right, he's Miles.
Because if they were to do a new movie with Toby or Andrew, most likely Andrew because he's younger, right away he goes back to his new universe. There's no Peter Parker. No one
Right.
knows him.
His new name's Miles.
Yes,
Bro, facts, bro.
Yeah.
His new name's Miles. Is that what somebody said?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Right.
No, Miles is a different
Nah,
Spider-Man.
he's still Peter Parker, but nobody knows who Peter Parker is.
I know.
I looked
That's
up the
fucking
gross so far for No Way Home, and it's way higher than we thought. It's 587.2 million worldwide.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, that's what it is.
If I'm
This movie
Disney,
came
I'm
out
calling
last
up
week.
Andrew Garfield, and I'm like, hey, when can you come back? This again.
He said, Toby, please.
I mean,
We're desperate.
This
Oh,
movie,
it's fine.
this movie felt like a huge event.
It
Yeah.
did, bro.
It really did.
I still feel the high of Spider-Man.
Same.
Yeah.
I do too, for real.
Everybody on Twitter right now, there's a big thing going on around Christmas. Everyone is gonna make Amazing Spider-Man 3. If I'm Disney, run it back.
I said, Rhino, where you at?
Seriously.
Oh,
Right, bro. I want to see Rhino. I think Venom's gonna be in the next movie though,
Yes.
but let's get to that when we get to that. You know what I'm saying?
that two for Grace. You wanna come back?
God,
Oh, God.
Wait, who? Oh no, yeah. Bro, that's perfect. I want fucking Eric to play him. Eric Foreman.
So,
You just have Red Foreman
Yeah,
playing.
we'll get to like the very end.
so after Toby gets stabbed, he like falls back, and then like Andrew comes down, and then Green Goblin's like laughing, and then he gets injected, and he falls back, and he turns back into Norman, and he's just like, they're like asking Toby if he's all right, and Toby's just laying there, and I remember I was thinking, I was like, Toby's fucking dead. Like he's either dead or he's like dying. And like then Norman, like now that he's back to himself, he looks over and he sees like the Peter that he knows, and he like looks at himself, and he looks up at Tom and Andrew. He's like, what have I done? And he's just like sat there with his own thoughts about what has happened. And they help Toby up, and they're like, are you all right, man? And he's like, yeah, I've been stabbed before, it's no big deal. And then Tom sees he sees Doctor Strange up at the top because there's like rips in the sky now because the whole like
The
multiverse.
timeline's like ripping in half.
Yeah, and
'Cause they're all
Doctor
after Tom.
Strange. Yeah, he's trying to contain it, and like Tom's asking what's going on, and he was like every single being that knows Peter Parker as Spider-Man is coming through, and I can't stop them. And like you see, I remember Tony told me this, like, because he paid attention to the silhouettes, and he said he saw like the silhouette of like Scorpion and like Rhino, and
Yeah.
then you said there's a couple others.
There was someone did a video like it was Rhino, Scorpion, Craven, and I think that's all the only people that people recognized.
So Tom is like, he was like, is there any way to stop it? And Doctor Strange is like, he was like, no, there's no way to stop it. And then Tom was like, well, what if you do the original spell where everybody forgets that Peter Parker is Spider-Man? Will that work? And Doctor Strange is like, yeah, but that's the only way that works. And he's like, we can't do that because that's not the wish you wanted. And then Tom's like thinking for a second, and he's like, do it. And Doctor Strange is like, excuse me? And he was like, do the spell. And he was like, are you sure? He was like, yes, I'm sure. If it's the only way, we have to do it. And Doctor Strange is like, alright, well, it's gonna take a minute, so you might want to go say your goodbyes first. And so Tom goes down to where Toby and Andrew are, and Andrew's like holding Toby up, and they're talking, and then Tom, like, he has a lot he wants to say, but he can't form the words, so he just hugs him. And it was nice seeing. Oh, there was also one scene I forgot to talk about. I completely forgot to talk about this. So there was one part like where the entire thing collapsed. So MJ fell off, and so Tom went to go save her naturally, but Green Goblin stopped him. So MJ
Dude,
kept
I almost had a
falling.
heart attack.
And then we see Andrew, and I'm like,
That
oh
was the
shit.
good feel moment I was
Yeah.
talking about.
And Andrew jumps down, and he's like, I can't, like, he has this look of like, I can't let this happen again. So
Right.
it's like a redemption thing for him. So he
The
jumps
entire
down.
time I was like, his second chance, his second chance.
Yeah. So he jumps down and he actually saves MJ, and she like looks at him and he's like, "Are you all right?" And she's like, "Yeah." And like Andrew like starts like tearing up and he starts crying, and I was like feeling that. I was like, "Fuck." Like I started tearing up,
It's like, man,
and
couldn't do it for my own bitch.
yeah,
That's so great that they did that though.
yeah,
Dude, yeah, it was awesome though, dude. I was like about to cry.
yeah. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And he was just crying. He was like, "Yeah, yeah, I think I'm all right." And I think that him being able to do that gave his character some peace that he wasn't able to
Right.
find in his own universe, which I really like that. But yeah, I forgot to bring that scene up. I don't know how I forgot about that. But so uh, he says goodbye to the other two Spider-Man. He's like, "Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for your help." And uh, Tom goes to say goodbye to Ned and MJ,
Oh,
and Andrew and Toby were standing there, and Andrew's like, he was like, "Does it hurt?" And Toby was like, "Yeah, it hurts like crazy." And then Tom goes
I
back
said, yeah,
up
I'm just gonna
to
fuck you guys.
he goes to where Ned and MJ are, and they're all excited. They're like, "Oh my God, it's over! Like you did it! Like what do you want to do now, or what happens now?" And Tom's like, "Well, there isn't gonna be any like, what do we do now?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "You guys are gonna forget who I am." And they're like, "What? Like, isn't there anything else you can do?" And he's like, "No, like that's the only way that everything's gonna be fixed is if everybody forgets that I'm Spider-Man. So you guys aren't gonna aren't gonna remember me." And he's like, "Everybody in the world is gonna forget who Peter Parker is, and it's gonna be like I don't exist." And then like MJ is just like frustrated, and she's just like, "Well, like isn't there anything else you can do, like anything at all?" And like she starts crying, and then and then like uh then Ned like starts getting all upset, and Tom basically says like, this is the only way, and like I promise once the spell is done, like I'll come find you guys and I'll explain everything to get you to know me again. And they all three like hug each other and they're all crying, and then they say their goodbyes, and MJ says, she's like, "I love you," and Tom went to say, "I love you too," and she was like, "Wait until you find me to finish that sentence." And then Tom goes back to where Doctor Strange is, and Doctor Strange is like, "You ready?" I imagine he was probably pretty fucking tired from holding that spell and trying to hold the fucking multiverse together. And
Yeah, no big deal, Doctor Strange.
yeah, and so Tom's like, he's like, "Yeah, I'm ready." What'd you say?
What?
Oh, I thought you
Oh,
said something.
I said that should be easy.
So, he was like, "I'm ready, do it." And Doctor Strange, he was like, "I'm ready, sir," or he either says "Sir, Doctor Strange," and Doctor Strange was like, he was like, "Please, just call me Steven." And um, so he thanks Steven for everything, and they have like this mutual respect, and uh, then he does the spell, and like everything fades away, and like all the villains get sent back to their universes, um, and everything goes back to not normal, but obviously because nobody knows who Peter Parker is. Everything's normal aside from everybody not knowing who Peter Parker is, and so Peter is there, and they show him walking to a coffee shop, or yeah, it was a coffee shop. The coffee shop where MJ works at, because they were there earlier in the movie when they were seeing if they got accepted into MIT. And so he walks in and he sees MJ, and like on the way in, he was like practicing a speech, and he was like, you don't know me, but my name is Peter Parker," and he like wasn't really sure how to go about it, because he felt like he just wanted to explain everything, but he knew it would be like too much to handle at first. And so he walks in, he's like looking at her, and she's like, "Can I help you?" And he puts the card away, and he was like, "Hi, I'm Peter Parker, and I would like a coffee, please." And then we see Ned walk in, and he finds out that they both got accepted into MIT, and he's like really happy for him. And but they keep in mind, they don't know who he is at this point. And so he's just standing there looking at MJ and Ned, and he's just watching them, and he excuse me, and he is just talking to MJ, and he, like I say, he has so much that he wants to say, but he wants to say "I love you," but he can't, obviously, because that would be like weird in that moment. But
Yeah. She'd be like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, she was like, "Is there anything else I can do for you?" And he was like,
Said, "Yeah, me." And I said,
Oh,
but he was like, "No, thanks, that'll be all." He was like, "Hopefully I'll see you around." And he leaves the coffee shop, and then we
"Yeah,
see
dude."
that like he now has to, like, he got what he wanted. Like, nobody knows that he's Spider-Man now, but it came at the cost of like everybody not knowing who Spider-Man is, but also now everybody that he's ever loved not knowing who he is anymore. And
No memory.
and we see him go to Aunt May's grave, and he's like paying his respects and whatever, and then we see Happy walk up, and Happy's like, "How did you know her?" And he was like, "Through Spider-Man," and Happy was like, "Me too." And then they had like this nice little back and forth about Aunt May, and then how things are gonna turn out. And Peter's like, he's like, she helped a lot of people, and all those people are like grateful, and they'll keep things going. And then Peter walks away, and we see him now. He has to like live in his own like apartment and stuff. Which this was kind of like to me this felt like it was kind of like a nod to the Tobey Maguire Peter Parker, where he lived in the apartment, because when he got there, the guy was talking about rent, and like
Rent,
the door was kind
yeah.
of dodgy and shit.
Oh yeah, dude, I noticed that too.
Yeah, I was hoping I was hoping he was gonna say the damn door, but he didn't. Then we see him just in an apartment alone, and just looking out the window, and just looking at a world that no longer knows who he is, or that he no longer really exists in. And I think that
he still really like. I mean, he still like exists. It's just that anyone that's ever known him, like,
yeah,
their memory of him, like, was just completely like wiped.
yeah, and he pretty much has to like start all over again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is
Hmm?
who over there sucking on something?
Is somebody eating or something?
What?
I'm not.
I'm not.
The only one not saying something. Wait.
I'm not. I've been talking.
You don't hear that?
So,
You don't hear that quiet crunching in the background?
I thought I heard something, but I didn't know what it was.
You heard that? It was funny.
It's fucking 1 a.m. for me. I'm not gonna be eating right now.
All I heard was
Well,
crunching.
I'm waiting until we get off of this, bro, to eat.
Same.
Beast mode on that cereal.
Oh
Big
god.
cat and crunch.
Them ostrich toes, you feel me?
Ostrich toes, bro.
Oh my god.
Those fucking, those fucking alligator thumbnails, you know?
Oh my god. Oh. But I think that's where the movie ended, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, and then he like got something on the scanner and he like ran across the building in snow.
Yeah,
Yes.
His new suit.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that
he's
new
so-
suit.
Yeah,
Can we talk about that real
Yeah,
quick?
the suit.
Ugh.
yeah,
Beautiful
it
new
looked the
suit.
same.
I like it.
It was like,
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it reminded
I
me of
liked-
like the Homecoming suit, but it was like different.
Yeah. It's I felt it was more like comic accurate. Like
I'm saying, I just didn't like the red and black suit that he was wearing. I really did not like
I
it
didn't
at
like
all.
that either. I agree. 100%.
Cause like I was like, I know Spider-Man as red and blue. I don't know when this red and black shirt is happening, but
I mean, I
don't
wonder
fuck with
if
it.
they did that so people wouldn't get confused. I don't know.
Well, yeah, well, Miles is black.
yeah,
and red,
imagine if they all wore the same fit, like that meme.
Yeah, they all wear the same exact suit.
They should have done that meme. Missed opportunity.
that's what I said. That's what I said. Like they
Yeah.
missed that opportunity.
Yeah, the one where they're
They
all
should.
pointing at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they should
They
have.
did. They did.
I was saying they kind of did. That's why they're like
Well,
Spider-Man
yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
No, there was another time. It was when it was when they were in the lab, and Ned was like Peter, and they were like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And they're all
yeah,
like,
Peter, we're all
okay,
Peter.
yeah. All right,
yeah.
I'll count that. They just
Yeah.
they weren't in their Spider-Man outfit, but that's
Right.
Yeah. So now he's like,
Bastard.
yeah, now he's
Can we
like back
talk
to
about-
being the
Can we
friendly
talk about
neighborhood
how
Spider-Man
Andrew Garfield-
again. That's where it ends for now
Wait,
until
Andrew
whatever they
Garfield?
do.
I said, can we just talk about how he towered over Tom and Toby?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying the same thing. Andrew stole the show.
I'm saying I was just
said he was
I was just about to say it seemed like they focused more on Andrew Garfield than they did Toby there.
Yeah.
Like when they came to the other Spider-Mans, it was all about Andrew, bruh.
Yeah.
I don't think it was more about. I think Toby. Well, no, I think in terms of like their personality. Like
Mm-hmm.
Toby is just kind of shy. He's always gonna be laid back. That's always how his Peter Parker has been.
Mhm.
And Andrew's Peter Parker is just more like more antsy, more like more comfortable. But he always seems nervous, but not nervous at the same time.
Yeah, fucking Toby's was just like, I'm in like my late 40s and my fucking back hurts. And like,
Yeah.
I'm getting
Fucking
old.
back.
Like, there was like, speaking of him being old, there was like one kind of sad scene that made me go like, oh man, like, when Doc Ock was talking to Toby, and he was like,
Mhm.
he was like, Peter, look at you, you're all grown up. And
Mhm.
and I was like, fuck, like, cause like since Doc Ock died, like he didn't like, and he wasn't like that version of himself, like he didn't get to see like the young kid that he knew grow up, and I was like, fuck,
Right.
and like, oh man, but like,
Dude, yeah, that shit was crazy.
yeah. But I also feel like they focus more on Andrew as well. Like, it seems like Andrew's like pretty passionate about being Spider-Man again, from what I keep seeing. And like, I wonder if it was like a thing, because obviously you had Toby with his trilogy, Andrew had 2, he was supposed to have 3, but it got canceled. I wonder if it was like a thing that maybe Andrew wanted to really like give it his all, to show people like, hey, like, my 3rd movie might have got canceled, but I am a good Spider-Man. Like, I really wonder if maybe that's why there was so much focus on him.
Yeah, it's kind of made me change my perspective on Andrew Garfield Spider-Man a little bit.
Yeah, same here.
Me too.
I would really like them to I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, there's something going on in that Morbius movie with Spider-Man that we've yet to find out.
When does that movie come out?
January 25th, but
25th. I gotta be catch up by 25th. I got that.
I saw something today that it might get delayed again because there's like another variant of COVID, I guess, going around.
Yeah, it's like fucking. I think it was the O. I forget what it's called.
And I'm hearing that theaters might be shut down again.
Oh my god.
Well, at least we got to see No Way Home in the theater.
Because like other
You're
states,
right.
are like, like not here, but like, well, I can't say for where everybody's at, but I guess like places like New York, I guess it's like really bad.
Hopefully that doesn't happen around here. I've had enough of that shit.
Yeah, we're going to what, year 3? It's like year 3 of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit's annoying.
Yeah, but how about those post-credit scenes?
Yes. So
Yo,
I
dude.
thought the Venom one was really interesting because like during that whole movie I completely forgot that like Venom also got transported there. I completely forgot because I was so
I
invested.
did. I'm just playing. But yeah. Oh yeah. But like you were so invested into like, yo, holy shit, 3
Yeah.
Spider-Mans, bro.
Yo, y'all gonna be mad at me.
Why?
Did you leave when the credits started?
No. You saying that just now just made me realize that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you
When I,
forgot.
when I saw when I saw the post-credit scene, I didn't put 2 and 2 together that he was in the universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, like, I had just
because
watched.
like because he was already in the universe in the well,
Yo.
Ryan, what you were supposed to see for Venom 2, but you sat outside in the rain. You it showed him seeing Spider-Man on his TV in the end credit after credit scene on Venom.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
So like
Like
Which
Tom Holland
is
said?
kind of really disappointing that it doesn't really lead so far.
I mean, but
It led into another end credit scene.
but
Well,
it did leave something important though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like one, I noticed that even though after Doctor Strange did the spell, he still remembered who Peter Parker was.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about right after the movie.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
after he disappeared probably back to his time, a piece of Venom stuck around.
Yeah, like
Because we were all confused of why he's the only one who remembers.
And I'm thinking
He's
it's
Doctor
because
Strange, bro.
no,
not Doctor Strange,
we're
Venom.
talking about Venom. And I'm
Because
thinking it's
Venom
'cause
remembered Peter Parker.
was someone I read something that someone said something about a hive mind that Venom, because Venom is a certain alien that all symbiotes connect from the multiverse and stuff like that. I guess I don't know this. I'm like, this is kind of bullshit. I don't like that.
He does kind of bullshit. I don't like that.
Yeah, as soon as I heard this, no, actually, that's BS.
Well, I remember like you brought this up, Tony, because it was kind of interesting. Because you said in like you said Venom is in the same universe as Morbius, and but also Spider-Man is in the Morbius universe. So technically, there is a Spider-Man in. There would technically be a Spider-Man in that Venom universe, then, right?
Right, but which Spider-Man is the question everyone's kind of been asking.
Yeah.
I think everyone's thinking Miles Morales, bro.
But
That'd be
someone
crazy.
else said that, and I was like, would they really waste Miles Morales on a Morbius film?
Oh, I thought we were talking about like Eddie Brock.
No, like,
Okay.
like remember like how there's
Morbius.
Spider-Man on the wall?
On the wall of Morbius movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
But
another
it's
hint too,
it's
but I forget what
weird.
it was. There was like another hint to Spider-Man in the trailer, but I forget what it was.
There's a couple things. Oh, the Oscorp.
Oh yeah, Oscorp. Yeah.
There's a very good chance it could be like very different Spider-Mans. Like, there's a Spider-Man in the comics called like Superior Spider-Man, and it's like Doc Ock takes over Peter's body, like takes over his mind, and it's actually Doc Ock. So like, it could be that one, bro. Like, they could do something like that.
So we getting a
Since,
whole
like,
different Spider-Man.
Yeah, because like Doc Ock was evil, and then when he took over Pete.
Well, because remember when I was telling you,
good.
Brandon, earlier how I seen that who the fuck? Not Tobey Maguire. Holy fuck, I'm drawing a blank. Motherfucker, Tom Holland wants to take a break of playing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I don't think, I mean, seeing that he wanted to take a break, I highly doubt he's going to be in the new movie Morbius coming up.
Yeah, so
Why so?
So Tony showed me
Like,
something
I'm saying it's gonna be somebody
interesting.
else.
So like Tony was showing me the Morbius trailer, and he like paused on the part that had Spider-Man on the wall, and I was looking at it, and I was like, that picture of Spider-Man looks really familiar, and so we looked a little into it, and the picture that they use for that Spider-Man on the wall is the picture of Spider-Man from the Spider-Man 2 movie poster.
I forgot all about that. I'm glad you
Yeah.
remember.
Wait,
Yeah.
Jay, maybe that answers your question about why
Wait, hold up. Which
Venom was able
Spider-Man?
to remember.
Uh,
They use one of the pictures from like the original Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire one.
yeah,
Shit.
It's
from
just
the
reversed,
Spider-Man 2
and
poster.
they have
Like
it
the
on
same
the wall. and
pose, same
like,
everything.
murderer.
Yeah.
Like they're calling
What does
Well,
the
then-
poster say again on it?
Well, that one, wait, I'll let you finish.
What'd you say,
I didn't
Brandon?
hear
He was asking what the poster said.
Yeah, like what the poster say on it.
murderer.
Again.
Yeah, it said murderer.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, then that might also answer my question of,
So is that gonna be another Toby? Is Tobey Maguire gonna play Spider-Man again?
well, that would make sense because, like, remember my question earlier? I was like, well, if they do that, is the spell going to work on them too? Well, apparently not if they do that. Because if Tobey Maguire's in that one, that's how he remembers them.
Yeah, but okay, but this is where it gets confusing, right? This is what everybody's like. I don't know what's going on because if it's Tobey Maguire's universe, we can remember he already had a Venom and he already had an Oscorp. That Oscorp isn't the same one from way back when, and if Tobey Maguire is in the same universe as Venom and Morbius, well, like we already had a Venom then.
Yeah, Morbius.
So, if anything, it makes more sense that this should be Andrew Garfield's universe because people pointed out that the Oscorp that's in Morbius, the font is the same font as the Oscorp in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh shit.
Like,
I don't know if Brendan was happy about that or pissed. He was like, aw shit.
I was shocked.
He said, aw shit.
so
mean-
people are like, it makes more sense where it should be amazing. It should be Andrew's universe because Toby already had all that.
Well, so here's like an interesting thing I was thinking about. So I was thinking about this during the movie because I had noticed something. So maybe this like all that you're talking about, maybe it's like a thing of like maybe the multiverse stuff was already happening there. Maybe that's why it's like all weird because in this movie, like I was sitting there, I was looking at J. Jonah Jameson, and I'm like, okay, well he was in the end of Far From Home, and he was there before like the spell and all that took place. So I'm like, how did the J. Jonah Jameson from Toby's universe get to Tom Holland's universe before Doctor Strange even did the spell? And I was thinking about that, and I'm like, that doesn't really make much sense. I don't know if they like overlooked that or like what, but I was thinking about that, and I'm like, maybe there was already some stuff going on that we don't know about or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but also J. Jonah Jameson stayed in that universe after the spell.
Yeah, that's true as well. Like I
Well,
I was so curious about
it's
that.
well, it's possible both those universes could have J. Jonah Jameson, bro.
And look the
True.
exact same too.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, but
It's
one's just
something weird
older
to
than
think
the other.
about.
Like one's like, yeah, like what one looks like it doesn't mean future.
Maybe. I don't know. I
You
just
gotta
found
face
it
this stuff. This
interesting.
is confusing.
Yeah. Especially like when you go into detail and you notice like little things, you're like, like because with Marvel they go so into
Yeah, bro.
detail. You're like,
There's loopholes about like in every Marvel movie, bro. Like
Yeah.
even
You
in
know what it
Endgame,
is?
there's so many loopholes in Endgame, bro. Like
You know what it is? It's because like Sony and Marvel, they're kind of like on the same page, but not on the same page because Sony, like, they still kind of really own Spider-Man.
Mhm.
yeah,
That's why if you notice, they put that Sony logo at the end.
yeah.
They said, don't forget now.
And
Don't
they're
forget
trying
Sonic.
to do their own thing. That's why Morbius is coming out. That's why Craven the Hunter movie is coming out because Sony keeps trying to do their own thing. But Marvel is like,
Yeah, Sonic.
oh, everyone links
Yeah.
with Spider-Man is with us, not y'all. So
Don't forget that Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they messing up the whole continuity now. It's weird.
This is Sony is fucking things up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially with the
go back to
multiverse
PlayStation.
stuff, because now it's like, well, I mean, anything could happen now, honestly. Now that they opened up the multiverse shit, so
Oh, Howard the Duck confirmed.
Howard the
Spider-Man.
Duck.
Imagine when we get the fucking original Howard Duck.
Right.
so there was one funny moment that happened in the theater. So it was during the end credit scene of Venom, and it was like dead quiet, and so it showed. So me and Tony were sitting there, and it showed like Eddie Brock sitting there at the counter, and keep in mind it was dead quiet in the theater, and all we hear from across the theater is somebody go, "That's Venom," and we both lost it. We were cracking up.
wait, what happened?
Like when Eddie Brock came up on screen in the end credit scene, like it was dead quiet in the theater, and then as soon as he came up, somebody across the theater they're like, "That's Venom," and me and Tony
Wait,
lost
bro.
it.
Who is you with, bro?
I was with Tony.
Oh, shit. Tony wants it again, bro.
Yeah.
Watched it twice. Jesus Christ.
Yo, bro, I might go watch it again. No cap, bro.
I want to watch it again
I'm
too.
going tomorrow.
I noticed some stuff the first time I didn't notice. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Hit me. Something else I thought was kind of funny. Like, so our theater, same thing with us, B and J. Like, our crowd was kind of low key. They wasn't like too rowdy.
Mhm.
They got hype when we got hype.
Yeah, when Andrew came through, what was funny though, immediately someone goes, "Okay, but where's Toby though?"
Yeah, I remember that.
All you hear is "Where's McGuire?" As soon as you see Andrew, not clapping, not yay, just "Where's McGuire?"
Where's McGuire?
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of fucked up, but funny.
Yo, like,
That was low key me though. I'm not even gonna count.
bro, fucking like in our art theater when we had like half of them filled, like people was quiet for Andrew, and then like more people kind of popped for Toby when he came out too, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
My theater, it was like an equal pop for both. So,
That's good.
Damn.
I saw some theaters. Did y'all see some theaters in like the UK? Like it was like a pro wrestling event.
Yeah, I've seen some of the
Good,
audience
bro.
reactions.
I was really hoping, dude, Tony.
I was hoping for that.
Listen, Tony, I was expecting this like crowd to be how they was in Endgame, bruh. Remember when Spider-Man came out that ring with Doctor Strange, and everybody started going, "Let's go!" And then everybody started getting hyped, bro. Remember that shit,
Yeah, dude,
bro?
when Mjolnir-
That
when-
was amazing.
when you see
got it.
Mjolnir flying and you think it's Thor, and then you see Captain America catch it.
Yo, everybody started
Yeah,
flipping their
lost.
shit. Yes, bro. that was the best experience ever. And I really thought I was gonna have the same energy, and it was nowhere close. And Loki was disappointing, but I
Bro,
didn't
I'm
let
telling you,
that
it's
ruin
because
the
it's
movie for
fucking,
me.
it's because this pandemic, bro. This pandemic fucked everything up.
Well,
that's
no,
true.
bro, because the movie right after us was packed, and even this one dude, he saw the movie twice, and he said both times he went, the movie theaters were packed as shit.
Yeah.
Maybe we just
So
picked a
like,
dumb
yeah, bro,
time.
I honestly think we just picked a bad time, like
I mean,
for like people to come.
I guess you
Honestly,
just
it
gotta
was
go the night
good
it
though
drops.
because like I mean honestly it was good though because like I low key didn't want to be packed around people anyways. But also, it kind of missed like the movie experience, you know, that
Yeah.
everybody get hype experience.
I
Hey,
mean, that
bro,
was
at the end of the movie, when we was outside, we was talking, and me and Tony was like holding hands and shit.
huh?
You know,
What?
I'm just playing. I'm playing.
I like how you just trailed it off too.
No, it wasn't. But me, Tony, and Jay was talking. We was talking about something in Infinity War, and we said like Spider-Man died, and like there's 4 people around us walking into the movie theater, and they all looked at us. And
We were like, no, 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 no.
yeah, bro. We was no, Infinity War. We was like, oh, while back, man.
Right before we left, I hurried up and screamed out the window.
Oh yeah, bro. I was driving right, and as I'm pulling out the theater, Jay rolls the window down and he goes, "Tobey Maguire's in the movie," and then he was like, he was like, "Go, go, go!" And then I tried to drive, and there's a car in front of me, so I
Wait,
couldn't.
he said Tobey Maguire's never in the movie?
No, he said Tobey Maguire's in the movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love Toby, bro. He's definitely
Damn,
my
I mean,
dad.
I think Endgame though really shows like how Endgame was just a different bag. Like
Oh, facts.
Endgame was, I mean, it makes sense. It was the culmination of like 12 years. Like Endgame was huge. I wonder. So how close is No Way Home to Endgame in terms of money?
Probably,
Shit,
Oh
I
yeah,
can look that up real
we
quick.
should look that up. We
probably
should.
not close. I would say not close.
Stop.
Let me look at the gross for Endgame real quick.
Endgame's at $1 billion.
No way.
Oh yeah, bro.
That makes sense.
Endgame beat like Avatar.
Guaranteed $1 billion. Guaranteed.
2.797 billion.
Damn.
What the heck? That was even more than I thought.
Right.
Even more than I thought. Let's go.
Endgame was just.
Endgame's different.
Different type, right? A different type of breed.
Fucking
Yeah.
different, bro.
That's why it's gonna be a minute before they do another Avengers.
That
because
shit
then
had the
they'll
Black
do Avengers
Panther in
again.
it. You already
Yeah.
know that shit was packed. Black Panther's in it. Fucking Wakanda forever, dude.
I'm telling you, the next time they do Avengers, it's gonna be like they're gonna want to beat that.
Yeah.
Is it? You think it's even
Will they
possible?
though? Will they?
Right.
Will they though?
They have many villains that they can pull out.
True,
You tell me right
true,
now, Galactus,
Oh
Magneto,
no, dude,
Doctor
that's
Doom.
nah.
Oh,
Yeah, you right.
shit.
You right. Thanos could still come back though. There's multiple universes.
You can do Thanos again.
Thanos.
Oh god,
Don't Thanos
Thanos
get stronger than everybody at one point in the comics?
You don't think Thanos show him up out of nowhere? You don't think that would like rock the whole MCU?
Doctor
Think about
Strange
it.
turns heel.
Iron Man's dead.
Do you hear me,
He
Tony?
said Iron Man come back from the dead.
I said Doctor Strange turns heel.
He
Oh,
said,
actually, hold up. I'm glad you said that because going into our next.
oh yeah, the next movie.
Dude, that shit was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm watching that in theaters. First day
Facts.
it drops.
Facts.
We got a trailer for. It wasn't a teaser. It wasn't like a. Usually they do like little.
Yeah, no, there was just a trailer for the movie.
This was a whole trailer.
Mhm.
It looks pretty good. Wanda's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
it,
is
it like continues the stuff from this movie with like the multiverse stuff, but it goes like more into it, I think. And it's well, obviously it's a Doctor Strange movie. I think it's called, isn't it?
I think it's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
From
yeah,
what
yeah. That's what that is.
I've already heard that like they're gonna do like a lot of crazy, like real multiverse stuff where we're gonna see ultimate versions of Iron Man. They already said they were gonna have Tom Cruise is playing Iron Man.
What?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. That big nose motherfucker. What's his name? Jason Bourne? What?
So I think it's gonna be very interesting to see like what how they go about that and what
He's
type
famous
of
for freaking hanging on helis, dude. Not fighting bad guys. Well, technically yes, but not fighting aliens.
So legit, fucking Iron Man is a Scientologist.
He's used to wearing a leather jacket and slacks, not a fucking iron suit. I'm stressed. Tom
Fucking
Cruise.
Iron Man
Hey.
versus the Mummy.
Jesus.
Fucking.
Downey really said I'm done.
So in the trailer, the one part they show, like they said something about like the cause of all this, or like the problem is you, Doctor Strange, and they show like evil Doctor Strange like face to face with him.
Dude, low key, I called that line because they paused before is you. So there was like, the biggest problem on Earth is. And then there was like a pause and like dramatic like camera cuts. And I turned to Lindsay and I was like, it's you. And then the dude was
Yeah.
like, it's you. And I was like, I fucking I was so hyped for no reason, bro.
it is. It's a hype moment. Evil Doctor Strange. If it's the same Doctor Strange from the What If series, did you see what I was talking about, Brandon?
Dude, I need to watch that.
yeah. I watched the What If. Yeah,
I need
Bruh,
to watch
if it's
that
that.
shit
that
was
Doctor
crazy. That
Strange,
shit was crazy, bro.
if it's that version,
I think it is, bro, because everything matches up.
Bro, his goatee's longer? Come on, son. He looks meaner? Come on, son.
that's gonna be so sick.
He's got that aura,
Right,
you know?
facts.
Straight fucking,
And it sucks
you
we're in a
know?
pandemic because that one came out.
Dude, yeah, fuck this
Well,
pandemic, bro.
it wouldn't have came out by now, but it would have been the next. It would have came out. I think Multiverse of Madness was set to come out for March, but that's pushed back now.
Damn.
Thanks, COVID.
I probably gotta hop off here around 3, just letting y'all know.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh my god.
Almost.
It's 2:41 right now.
So I got like 20
But
minutes.
so that was Spider-Man No Way Home. Like I said, all of us enjoyed it. So where, now that that has happened, like what do you think they're gonna do next with Spider-Man? Like
Like as
where
far
does
as
it?
Tom Holland or what?
Uh, I guess yeah. Tom, what do you think they're gonna do now with like Tom Holland? Like where does it go from here? Do you guys think?
Shit, dude. His Spider-Man, dude. He's just like his.
It's just like
Because, like, how is he gonna explain to them, like, who he is? Like,
I don't think he does.
you know, like, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do they just let him like live off? Like, it's just Spider-Man, or
I
like,
think he
do they
moves on.
like try to? Who do we go for? Like, do we just put him to bed, or like, do we get a new Spider-Man? What's going on? Are we getting an old one back?
Like what I would do. Okay, I feel like the way it ended at like an ending, but a fresh start, where it feels like we're about to go. Like it feels like the origin of like this is now Spider-Man. Tom Holland, he's going through all this stuff. Now he's Spider-Man. It feels like they could take a break on Spider-Man live action wise for like, I would say I don't think we're gonna get another Spider-Man for another 4 years.
Mm.
We don't see Spider-Man for 4 years. He grows up a little bit, get new friends. He gets a Gwen. He has
Hey,
other girlfriends. He has other friends. There's Black Cat. He can do other stuff.
I feel like since like Venom left the symbiote in his universe, I feel like maybe possibly the next movie could be Spider-Man versus Venom.
I hope.
Maybe I don't know, because Venom's gonna be involved somehow, because they wouldn't have left that symbiote there if there wasn't like something they were gonna do with Venom in that universe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd be down for a Spider-Man versus Venom movie, but
me too, for real. Because we've never seen that still, live action
yeah.
wise.
Yeah. Well, it Topher Grace, it's not,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was less of like like a one-on-one. That was more like a handicap match. You know what I mean?
True.
That was like a 3v1.
that was more like a fucking bad Venom in general. So
It was jumping him.
Now hold on, that Venom gave us the fucking dancing Tobey Maguire thing.
true, that is true. That is true. we can't forget that. We got Bully Maguire from that.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm really excited to see what they do next with Spider-Man. Like I'm not like a super big like superhero movie guy, but like Spider-Man is like the one superhero that I am actually like invested in, like all like the characters and like the different universes and like all that shit. Like so I'm really excited for whatever they do next. Whatever it is, like now that they've done this movie and they've opened all this shit up and all this has happened, like whatever happens next is going to be really fucking interesting where they go.
Another thing I like about Marvel is that like they include like other like big like characters so that like you kind of don't forget who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I know that they all exist in the same universe, but I know that other movie like chains and stuff that exist quote unquote in the same universe, they don't, include a lot
Yeah.
of the other movies characters. You know what I'm saying? So I like that they freaking throw all of them in there and shit, so that we always
Yeah.
see them. You know what I'm saying? So they never get like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
good when we don't see somebody for a while, but I like when they do that. You know what I'm saying?
hmm I mean, I like how they always like reference different characters in their different movies to it. Like it's
Right.
it to always let you know, like, hey, this is like a universe, and like
Yeah, like this is
just
the
because we're
same
telling
thing,
this
like,
story, like this other stuff is still going on. Like
right.
I really like that.
I wish my only complaint when I do stuff like that is like for instance, everyone expects Spider-Man to show up in Hawkeye tomorrow. No, I don't expect Spider-Man to show up, but I would like in the show Hawkeye. I don't expect Spider-Man to show up, but they have made it very clear. Hey, Spider-Man is literally in the same city as Hawkeye is right now on the show. Why wouldn't he show up? I would like them to at least give me a reason.
Right, that'd be dope.
Like,
Yeah.
make it a thing in the show. Hey, hey Hawkeye, don't we have other help? Like, isn't Spider-Man in New York too? Oh no, he's busy. He's doing something with such and such. It don't matter. Make it a quick, so we know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, no, I was gonna say Peter Parker, but I don't think since now Hawkeye wouldn't know who Peter Parker is. And
That's what I was just about to say.
you
Yeah.
gotta say Peter Parker, but like they know who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
Well, Hawkeye's based, I think, like before all this, right?
No, literally in the show right now. Like, this isn't a spoiler. This in the trailers. If you look, um, there's a couple scenes where like they're showing you like the New York that Hawkeye is in the same New York that Spider-Man was swinging at the end and it was snowing. It's snowing to Hawkeye too.
Mm.
So they literally
Like
whatever
same
down the
time.
block. Yeah.
Both their shit they got going on is happening literally at the same fucking time. Holy shit.
He said, if you look at this one pixel in this
Yo,
one frame,
so
you
that
can
would
see.
mean-
I was playing.
Would that mean that fucking, like, during the entire fucking movie of, like, No Way Home, Hawkeye shit is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking Statue of Liberty is just getting fucking attacked by 6 villains, and Hawkeye's just chilling.
Yeah, right.
Fucking with this girl.
Myra.
Movie where it was like that, where it was like if you look at all the Marvel movies, they all kind of have that. Like Winter Soldier, Captain America, literally on the run from the Nazis. It's like, why wasn't Iron Man ever helping him?
Yeah.
Everyone else did. Black Widow. I'm not saying every superhero has to show up, but just like because we know they're in the same place, just give me a little. Hey, he's busy.
Right.
So, that's, I don't know. Is that asking too much? You know?
No, like, silly. Bro, freaking,
Yeah.
it makes it like, it refreshes us, or like, you know, gives it a little refresher. Like, hey,
Yeah.
remember, wake up, bud. This is like our universe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit's happening. This cat's busy. He can't come and help us right now.
Shit's happening.
Right. Hulk, she in Taiwan right now.
Yes.
He's like out in Siberia
helping
with
us.
Shang-Chi.
He helping the sick.
Helping this thing.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, but he's like permanently Hulk now, right? Or no?
He's Professor Hulk, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
not anymore.
You always see Shang-Chi?
Shit,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Isn't he regular in Shang-Chi?
Yeah, at the end of Shang-Chi in the one of the post-credit scenes, he on FaceTime chilling back as normal. So
Yeah. Shit. Okay, Mark Ruffalo. I'm surprised they ain't fired his ass.
that's silly.
So, what I guess we could all go around like one by one. Like, what would you guys rate this movie out of 5? Like, what would you rate this movie?
Can we go into like the point range?
Yeah.
Wait, you said out of 5?
Yeah. Like out of 5 stars.
Are we going Dave Meltzer?
I suppose, yeah.
Oh shit, man.
No, but Dave Meltzer has the Infinity Scale. Remember that.
Oh yeah, that is true.
What?
Yeah, what?
That's
Yeah,
a thing
so-
that he has.
It's like people were complaining about Dave Meltzer's like star rating system. So he was like, well, fine, I'll change it. So now it's going to be an infinity star system. So matches can be rated out of infinity stars now. I'm like, what the
Oh
fuck?
yeah. Which Jim Cornette put that shit, like, he like shut that shit down because he was like,
Yeah.
if you're saying Infinity Star System, and he was like, that means you're saying every Kenny Omega match that was rated over 5 stars is basically shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But what would you guys rate this out of 5?
Out of 5.
Like,
I'll say 5.
5. Dang, right out the gate. Solid 5. Jay.
6.
I'll give it about
6.
He said 6.
Now I have 5.
I'll give it a 5. It lived up to my expectations of what I wanted, and more so in some aspects.
5. It was probably one of the best movies I've seen this year.
I'm gonna go
One of the
a
superhero movies of all time.
I'm gonna go a 0. I'm just playing 5.
Oh,
We got 5s all around the board.
This is a great fucking movie, man. I definitely want to watch this again.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I could stay the same. You know, I was playing. Hate my life. Listen.
Oh, are you guys ready to wrap up?
Yeah, we can wrap up this thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode of the What the Fuck podcast. We'll be back next week. But thank you. This is also coming out on since we post our episodes on Friday. This is actually coming out on Christmas Eve. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. I should have mentioned that earlier, but it's
Merry
all right.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, this is your big Christmas present. Having the four homies on here. But thank you to Tony, Brandon, Ryan, and Jay for all coming on. It was fun having you
No
guys.
problem.
Power
Definitely
Rangers.
would love to have you guys on again in the future. You're always welcome on the podcast.
Yep.
Um,
You got Ginyu Force.
The Ginyu Force. I like the Power Rangers better than the Ginyu Force. Man.
Alright, okay.
We could be like what, Mighty Morphin?
Alright, I'll take that.
but all the links to all the guests will be down in the description, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you all for watching, and somebody's getting a phone call, so
What do you need, Lester?
it's Mr. Stark calling him from the dead. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.
Why'd you make that joke?
Bye. Peace.
Bye, Maddie.